Okay guys, what is going on, and welcome to my first ever podcast. We're going to be putting this everywhere, all over the place. Make sure you check all my social media. There'll be links everywhere so you can access this, so you can listen to it on the go or in your home. Basically, the social medias are, go on Nalletamby on the Instagram, and it will be Nalletamby on YouTube, and on Facebook it will also be Shock Nalletamby. So today we have our first guest on here. It's going to be a really good friend of mine. He's going to Bath Spa University, and he's like the ideal person to have as our first guest on this show. So, without further ado, let's get into this podcast.
You're listening to the Nalletamby podcast. Let's get it all day, every day. Introducing today's guest on the show.
So, Ellis, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Mate, thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure.
You've
Honestly.
absolutely flattered me with that intro there.
We had
That's
to.
Adorable.
You're the man. You're the first man on here. We've got to make sure you feel welcome.
I certainly do.
When people come back and they come to the first ever podcast, you're the correct man to have on here.
I'll try my best. I'll try my
your
best.
There we go. So, we're going to Bath Spa University.
I do. I study English literature and creative writing.
How's that going for you at the moment?
Grade-wise.
Yeah, or just in general, like whole experience. Because I suppose, it's a bit of everything, isn't it?
Grade-wise is going all right, but
decent.
Where it's really at is the
social.
It's
got to be mental.
Yeah. The nightlife, I've got to say, in Bath.
Yeah.
I can't call it fantastic.
Is it better than fantastic?
No.
Oh no, is it bad? To be fair, I wasn't sure where we're going with that. I've completely misinterpreted.
I couldn't call it fantastic. A lot of it is, all of it is underground, like physically underground.
Oh really?
Yeah, so
But
it's
how
like
so?
they get I think it's for noise pollution.
Nice.
So it's straight built underground. So you go in there, it's like really cramped. You're like cattle.
Oh,
it's really
really?
hot, and like I don't mind clubbing. I'm not huge.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on it.
Do you know what? I've never been a big fan of. I like clubbing. I think if it's an occasion, it's really good.
Yeah.
But I think just going clubbing because it's so loud.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing against that. It's good, but you can't actually have a conversation with people. I find.
Nah,
Like sometimes I want to have a conversation with people, and I'm just sitting there like, mate.
The best time I ever went clubbing was I went on the evening of us knocking Columbia out on penalties.
Mate, that must have been ridiculous.
Right, it was ridiculous.
The atmosphere.
But everyone in the club was wearing England shirts, right? This
that's
is an
brilliant.
exclusive story.
Yeah.
That happened to me. So we were in the queue at the bar to buy drinks, me
Yeah.
and my mate, and there was a group of girls in front of us.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like, so they were just ordering drinks, and then there's this guy like to the side wearing
Yeah.
an England shirt, and he's like, "It's coming home," and obviously we're like, "It is coming home."
Of course it is.
Because John Stones has just turned round after Eric Dyer scores the penalty and giving it big to the Columbia team
Yeah.
after their heinous cheating in the.
Oh
in
my
the
god,
game.
it was
Disgusting.
appalling.
But this guy's like, "It's coming home," and we're like, "Yeah," and then he gets the attention of the girls in front of us. And he goes, "It's coming home," and then he exposes himself, and it's like how to single-handedly ruin like a great mood
Literally,
in like the space of 15 seconds.
Biggest moment.
Well, I wouldn't call it biggest moment. Poor
Going
guy.
so well.
Can't even claim it was cold. It was, it was the middle of summer. But I was just like,
Oh no.
what have I just?
What have I experienced? Just like, how do we move on from this?
That was absolutely mental. And so
Honestly.
we were like, I was with James.
Yeah.
And so we were like, maybe don't expose yourself to a group of girls. We were
Yeah.
like, like back away.
Calm it
And
down,
He was
my
like, it's coming here.
He's like doubled down there. He's
And
gone.
it's
We're going
like-
all in.
Yeah, he committed to it, but that's
brilliant.
you can understand why football fans have a negative portrayal in the media.
I think that's definitely a good example.
I'll start it off with a good story for you.
We'll start off with a good story. We've got it straight in, getting it going. Do you know what? I think you are the perfect person to be on this podcast, yeah, because we had a conversation about, I think it's 6 months ago now, in September, talking about doing a podcast.
We did talk
Yeah,
about
me
that.
and you doing a podcast. Sadly, this guy, he left. He went off to university.
That's
Just
good.
left me by myself.
I
So-
smelt the debt, and I was like,
I've had to pick up the slack, but
that looks
no.
appealing.
Oh yeah, but no, we've managed to get it going, and I thought, who else?
Well,
better?
no, you have managed to get it.
I have managed to get it going, but I
Give
thought,
yourself a pound on the back.
who else to get it going better than Ellis? So today we're going to be talking about a lot of things on here, but yeah, university, going back in.
University.
So underground, like that is to me great. Like I think that's kind of cool in a way, but I suppose it's kind of like really like
In theory,
In
it's
theory,
cool.
in your brain,
In
it's
practice,
cool.
it is
It's-
a sweat pit.
yeah. And
It's
are you on a campus university or is it city?
I'm on a campus university, so
Yeah.
what I personally prefer is that the accommodation. There's
Yeah.
there's at least one party a week.
Yeah, I
And
think that's cool.
You know, how a house party is superior to clubbing.
Oh, 100%.
Changed my mind.
100%, yeah.
So we'll just go to whatever party there is, and that's good.
That's, to be honest with you, that's better. That's better than clubbing, in my opinion.
But like with the people that I live with, I live with fantastic people. The social life in the house is better than the party life. So
that's great though, because then it's like all time.
And I have evidence to support this. So
plug it shamelessly on social media.
I will plug it. Well, there's a we reshot.
Yeah.
Shot for shot, the Avengers trailer when it dropped.
Oh yeah?
There were 3 of us playing the entire cast. Took us about 6 hours to do.
Mate, that's quality.
I would plug it, but we just ripped the actual audio, so I don't want to copyright burn that one.
Yeah, let's leave copyright on this. Let's keep this. I need the money.
Yeah, of course, don't want to do it like that. But then like a group of us went out and we spent a significant amount of money on Nerf guns.
Mate,
for the house.
That's perfect.
And it's fantastic. So we've
19 years old doing it right.
Ground floor, middle floor, top floor, obviously. And so we'll play like proper Counter-Strike vibes. So we'll have the CTs on the ground floor. Sick. We'll have the T's on the top floor. And you got a storm. And like sometimes we'll have like a can of deodorant in the middle of the middle floor. We'll like catch the flag. And that's a vibe.
That mate, honestly.
Also play a lot of poker.
Oi. Congratulations. We got to play some poker then together.
Also play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you do any betting on the poker?
Not if I want to do well, because I'm not a good player.
Okay, fair enough. No, poker is the best. I think there's nothing better than the evening, sitting down, getting the cards out, just vibes, put music on. That is a mood. That is a mood. Like honestly, like 100%. Like, and poker's where it's at.
The other day we have 2 tables that go together to make one bigger table in our kitchen, and we flipped them on their sides and put them against each wall, and we had an indoor 2-a-side football tournament in the kitchen.
Oh mate, honestly, you're living the life right now.
You've got to be. I mean,
I've gone too far.
I'm careful because I don't want to get caught up saying the things that we get up to. But
nah, mate.
We've never done.
Bars listening.
We've never done any damage to anything. To be fair, we genuinely haven't. But
I remember I went on a school trip once and we did that. There was the eating room, the mess hall, and what we did was we got it and we moved all the benches out and we put them at the side and we made like walls.
Yeah.
And we had an indoor 5-a-side tournament, literally 4-on-4, full on, and it was like with a football. The whole thing was covered by glass. It was a glass one, so you could see like outdoors and everything. So it looked ridiculous, but yeah, we had to be careful. And we did it like 3 nights in a row. Honestly, we had like a little tournament going. Best thing.
So
I don't
know if you know what our campus is like, but it's effectively like a mansion house.
Yeah.
With all these fields. It used to be owned by the royal family.
Oh really?
So it's like it's got a castle on the campus.
That's
like
crazy.
Only small.
Yeah.
And then where the actual lessons are built is this brand new modern huge building.
Oh, so that's cool. So you got like the modern, and then you got that kind of old vibe.
But what's cool is that where the castle is, it's like big woods. It's like a lake. It's like your campus is just to wander around, good nature. Yeah. But on my birthday, we all got drunk and played hide and seek in the castle and in the gardens.
Oh mate, that's so cool.
It was superb. Like shout out everyone I live with and everyone that hangs out. Like it's fantastic.
That's crazy. So I think. Thing with university though, do you think it's who you live with that make the experience?
Yeah, certainly so. So I got into both Bath Spa and Southampton, which Southampton is like a lot higher than Bath Spa in the rankings, and it's a Russell Group uni. It's like it's much more like traditionally respected.
Yeah.
But the reason I picked Bath Spa was that so when I went to the Southampton Open Days, they were like, "Oh my god, look at our new science facilities! Look at our new like physics stuff," and I was like, "That's great, but it doesn't affect me."
Yeah, because you're not doing anything.
I just want like an old library. I don't care.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And I thought that the English department at Southampton was fantastic. So I went to one open day and I met the head of the English there, and I went back like months later, and they do remember my name, and I was like, "That's incredible."
That's amazing.
Like that made me feel really personal, but I thought like he wasn't valued enough by the university, because I was like, you've got some really good employees.
Yeah.
Here. But at Bath Spa, English was like. It was a lot more bigger on the university. So
there's more of a focus for the university.
So they're more of like a creative uni, and I was like, for me, that it just suited me.
Is it former Polytechnic?
I don't believe
because
so.
The one I've got an offer from De Montfort, and they're a former Polytechnic, and I think that a lot of these, because it's a more creative university.
It's a fairly new uni as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to all the advertisements on my social media. I can't go anywhere without seeing advertisements for it, but. No, yeah, all these creative universities, they all tend to be like polytechnics, and they're all quite new. Yeah. And I think actually some of them quite have not a bad reputation, but not as good a reputation. I don't know, is that just me saying that? But I feel like sometimes they don't get as good a rap.
Something that hasn't helped our uni's reputation, in terms of it's easy to criticise, is that they've done away with grades to get in.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've actually so if you want to do a creative subject, you have to submit a portfolio of work.
Oh, do you know what?
So what you think?
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So you think about that. If you're a creative student, you're like, oh, I have to, I'm graded based on my actual what I want to be doing as opposed to school subjects. So that's great for if you want to come in, but it's an easy stick for like anti-university
people who are
academic,
people who want to go to Oxford, Cambridge, all these good universities. Like London. What was it? The one in London. Royal Holloway, those kind of universities. People always look at creative people because they're doing a more academic degree, and they go, like, why don't you need qualifications? But I think when you're creative, I think creativity is not something you can really teach. It's only something you can encourage.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there and be like, I don't want to sit there and be like, I'm better than you because I'm creative. Because,
Like, no, I don't think it's a better. It's a different skill. It's a different skill. It's just a different thing.
I don't pretend that I could do like. So I know people at Bath Uni. Obviously. And I don't pretend I could do like the physics or the chemistry. I don't pretend I could, but at the same time, It's hard to compare things that are quite different.
Yeah, I think it's a different skill set.
Yeah,
and I think they're both just as important to each other in like society and stuff. I think each have their values.
Yeah.
So I think in society they view these places like Oxford, Cambridge, the Bath one over Bath Spa. They look at that as better university.
Yeah.
Although I actually think it kind of like serves a different purpose.
Yeah, it's not necessarily an outdated view, but I would certainly say that people who are doing like media production stuff, they're going to have a massive influence
on the world. Because they have a big impact on what we see.
And it's like, obviously if you do chemistry at a proper uni, you create the cure for something. You've had a huge influence too.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is very different.
I think it is very different, and I think I really like the portfolio idea as well, though, because like for me when I went to De Montfort. So, like, when I applied on my A-levels. My A-levels were maths, geography and economics. So whenever I tell anyone what I do for A-level and then when I'm going to university, they're like, how the hell did you get from that to that? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I have a hobby for this. And this is what I do in my spare time, all my spare time most of the time. So I did these subjects because they're academic and it gives me, better, like, pathways and better opportunities in the future. Say, whatever reason something doesn't work out, I have a fallback.
Yeah.
To get, like, get out of jail kind of thing. And I think... Because of that, though, I just think, like, if, say, I wasn't creative at all when I applied and I get onto that course, I think, is that really right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't creative at all and I get on that course, I don't think I should be on that course because you have to have... I think you should have some kind of evidence like you have.
Yeah, it's a good argument for them to introduce, but at the same time, you can see why people who don't like it are going to use it to be like, oh, you're not a respectable establishment because you don't even care about grades. But it's like... they're measuring people based on factors that are more relevant to them. Yeah,
I agree, yeah.
When you think about it from the uni's perspective, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because you want to have the best people, and the best people are only people with the best portfolios, and portfolios can't be judged in the amount of grades. It's a matter of looking at it and going and seeing the work they've put in and the time.
Portfolio shows experience.
Exactly, it shows what you've done.
Which is incredibly important.
And this is why I'm actually having second doubts going to university on the fact that in the video industry, I think sometimes portfolio and experience is more valued than university degree.
Certainly so.
To an extent, yeah.
I listen to a lot of I listen and watch a lot of the channels that are run by the company Diagonal View, like Football Daily, like VIB, like All Time Gaming, and they don't look at degrees anymore for applicants. They look at portfolio and stuff like that. So if you, especially digital media, portfolio is becoming more integral to your application. So
I agree.
More integral to your application. So I was listening to the Chinwag podcast that Chris Hamill did with John Babb, and they said that before, if you like 10 or 15 years ago, if you wanted an interview with the company, if you didn't have a first at degree level, you wouldn't even get an interview. Whereas now they don't regard degrees at all. So for digital, a portfolio is certainly becoming a more important aspect.
It's interesting actually. I have a mate who we're going to get on this podcast soon, and he's just got a new job running social media for a company, running their social media, and he did a degree in sports management.
Are we allowed to plug the company?
Not gonna lie to you, I actually don't know the company.
Ooh, called out, fake friend over here.
Hey, hold on.
But still, that's mad if he's managing it.
So it's an e-commerce company for like bedding and bathrooms or something. So I do know some bits. I'm not completely an awful friend. But no, so he's working with them, and he got the job based on his passions. So he was running my club's social media. So I'm doing that with him. And because of that, so in the interview when he came, he goes, "Oh, this is what I do as a hobby. I produce videos. I do a YouTube channel. I'm doing social media. I have this many followers. I've built this up. This done this." And they just went, "Wow, that's amazing. That shows that you have the skill." And then they've gone, "Oh yeah, he's got a degree, but to be honest with you, we're more interested in what he's doing in his spare time." And he kind of felt, he said to me when he got the job, he got the job more based on the fact that his hobbies and what he's interested and what he's worked on than his degree.
Yeah, if you can involve your passion in your work, that's fantastic. And it's like, I'm not saying that maybe you're not passionate about chemistry.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think that, so I'm doing creative writing, so in terms of being able to create worlds, I think that that would sell more than, there's some particles over there. But that is just me. And maybe I have got a biased opinion.
It's a personal thing. I think you do need biologists, chemists, physicists.
Oh, 100%, without doubt.
we need those guys. We ain't knocking on them. But like, I think you don't want everyone just to go that way because it's like, it's academic. You want people to go there because they want to do it, not because it's told as a better thing.
We get a lot of trash from the Bath Uni students about being like creatives, and it's just like, you're doing your thing, we're doing our thing.
Exactly, yeah. When this guy's selling books all around the world, it's calm. How is it going there with the creative writing? So what's it like, the course? Are they teaching you? So how does it work?
Essentially, I'll be going to lectures and seminars. Mm-hmm. So for people that don't know, a lecture is like 150 people, however, sit in the room and get talked to, and then a seminar will be like 20 people will go to like a classroom, and that'll be much more like a typical lesson. Yeah. So I'll be going to lectures, and then in seminars we'd be going into groups of like 3 or 4, and we'd be comparing work that we'd done, like stuff that we've written,
like
and
critiquing.
Critiquing, giving feedback, improving. They call it workshopping. Yeah. So I would be doing. So my work is joint honours English and writing. So I'd be doing a few English worksheets a week, and I'll be doing 2 creative writing projects, like creative essays, like stories a week as well. So that's the kind of work that was my like regular work. Yeah. And then when it came down to like coursework, I would have like 2,000 word essays, 2,500 word essays, like 1,500 word, like author comparing 2 authors, like it's like what you would get at if you did A-level English literature or language as an A-level. It's like what you would get for that.
So it's kind of like the researching of previous work, comparison, and learning about how they've used techniques, and then applying that to your own writing so you can improve your own creative writing.
Yeah, certainly so. We were looking at texts like "Grief is a Thing with Feathers," which is like it's up for debate whether it's like sort of poetry, sort of a novel. It's really good, and so we all had to write a story influenced by like the idea of this crow which represented grief and the influence that could have. So I wrote mine about traditional values of people that lived in Australia, about how crows were like signalling the journey to the afterlife, and I found that really interesting. And then so that's one example of like how we have to take the work and it influences us. And then we'll just do it like, today we're looking at different genres. We're going to do sci-fi based on Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles and Fahrenheit 451, and it's good to looking at the people who have mastered it. It's like if you're going to learn to play football, you'd look at Ronaldinho.
Yeah, exactly. You learn from the best at the end of the day. And I think what's great actually listening to you right now is like you're obviously passionate about this.
I really am.
And you know what I think frustrates me a lot of times with young people? They almost pretend not to be passionate about something.
It's cool to care.
Yeah,
like,
do you know what I mean? I don't think people do though.
No.
I talk to a lot of people and they're just like, oh yeah, this is so shit, I hate doing this subject, I just do it. And I'm like, why'd you take it? Like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? So, just do something you care about. Who cares what it is?
So I went into my college to pick up my A-level result certificates. Yeah. And one of the teachers there was like, oh, can you just stay till the end of the lunch break and talk to a year 11 class about college? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I thought my college was really good. I really liked it. And so I went in there and I said to this year 11 class, are you going to stay, because the school is connected to the sixth form, are you going to stay here or are you going to go somewhere else? And this girl was like, oh, I want to go somewhere else. I hate teachers. And I was like, oh, you hate the teachers that are going to be teaching the subjects that you want to take if you stay here? She was like, no, she just hated teachers. In general. And I was like, my God. I hate to break it to you, but if you go to another educational establishment, the likelihood is there will be teachers there. Sure. She was having none of it. And I was like,
The thing is, that's a year 11 as well. That, like,
I know, you got
anyone else in like America, that's like 16 years old.
That's 16?
Yeah. So 16-year-old is going, I hate teachers, so you're going to come out of school and what? Just do nothing?
She's the type of person who, maintains support for the argument that 16-year-olds shouldn't get the vote. Because clearly, she just doesn't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you wouldn't want her voting. But
16-year-olds should be allowed to vote.
Oh yeah, I was going to branch this actually. I just think like when we look at things with the voting, there's so many 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who are easily smart enough to vote. Like, and then there's also ones who aren't. But then I look at adults. I'll be honest with you, there are people who just don't pay any interest and they still vote.
I know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know people who have voted and then later admitted that they didn't know what they were voting for.
Exactly. So the point I'm trying to make is I think at 16 you are intelligent enough and you should be well read enough to be able to make an informed decision. Whether you want to or not, that's your own choice. But I think you're at an intelligence level where you can make an informed decision.
Have you voted yet? Not have you voted for, but have you voted yet?
I've never voted. No, I'm not.
Neither have I.
No, we're both sitting here before we turned 18, and there were like 3 votes in like the space of 3 years, and then we just stopped.
Yeah, Theresa May did us dirty.
Yeah,
we're not the only people she's done dirty. But
no, trust.
Yeah, no, I think I have been eligible to vote. I wasn't eligible to vote for the big old Brexit.
Yeah, oh my god.
Which is happening in 42 days as on time of recording.
Oh. But watching the news, it's such a mess.
I get an email countdown sent to me every day.
My god, I'm gonna put a link to where you can get that in the description.
It's Channel 4 Snowmail.
Channel 4 Snowmail, hit it up. Really, there we go.
Would recommend anyway, regardless of the Brexit countdown. Yeah, it's really good.
Channel 4 do good news actually. I do enjoy their news. Yeah.
But what was I saying? So yeah, this girl.
Yeah.
She just didn't understand. I was gobsmacked. So in terms of like, so she just had no passion about.
I know
education in general.
I think that's more of like. I think that's a failure on kind of, I suppose, how people have been brought up as well as because I think there's a really like stereotypical thing. School's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes across, and I suppose it's as a kid you don't want to go, but I suppose they need to almost like change that view somehow. I don't know how you change that view, but it's like
it's difficult to change.
It's trying to make it positive, and maybe it's like all the constant grading, constant tests, constant like you need to do well, constant monitoring. It's more like. No, I think maybe it should be like we want to learn something. It's not so much like you have to meet this requirement, because that puts like a lot of stress and unnecessary. Like, you don't want to do something. Whereas if it's like right, we're going to learn.
I enjoyed school. I thought school was good. I had really good teachers.
Yeah.
I mean,
teachers do make a big difference.
Teachers make a huge difference.
100%. Yeah.
I was a piece of shit in school. Like, I was absolute garbage, and a lot of my close friends know that I'm well aware of how garbage I was.
Yeah. You're right.
And so when I look back and think about the things that were bad about school, it was mostly me anyway. So it's like I had a good school experience. But definitely. I could have made it better in the long run by being less garbage.
Yeah, no, but I think that's like a growing up thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone goes through that garbage stage where they're just doing what they want, taking the piss because they got to get through that, and I think that's fair enough. But I think it's just making it more. I suppose what's the word like. It is hard, but you need to make it. I think there's a school. I can't remember where it was. There's a school in like schooling in other countries where they actually let the kids choose what they want to learn.
School's pretty toxic. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
It's pretty toxic.
But I think if you do it like that, where the kids actually just choose what they want to learn, and you have like a few options, then at least they'll be like going over and like actually more engaging in it. I'm not really sure how you make it like that, but I think it's just trying to get people engaged in it, because I think a lot of people actually enjoy a lot of school topics just without realising it. Because it's like school, they immediately have a dislike to it.
What I thought was really important is I had really good teachers. I had really good teachers for stuff like history. I had really good teachers in general, but for stuff like history and English and drama, and I was like, that's cool, but like I like these subjects anyway. But like what I felt was really impressive was that I think my maths teacher was probably easily one of the best teachers that I had, and I was like, fair play, because he's making maths like it's not interesting, but I'm calm with being there because I'm like, my teacher's calm. Like, I think
that's like the mark of a good teacher.
Fully,
like if you can make a subject interesting to a kid who's not that interested, that's like success. Like
I got an A in maths. Like I was quite a smart kid.
You'd be proud of that.
Yeah, but I said to him afterward, I was like, I 100% wouldn't have got that grade without you, because I was just like, he was really good at. He was like the Zidane of teaching. His man management was really good. Because it was like, how do you make a 16-year-old guy care about maths? That's like, I sat in the back of the room. What we used to do in GCSE maths is I would like sit in the back of the room with these group of other kids, and I'd be like, you say a vowel or consonant, and they would say it, and we'd play countdown in the back of the room, because it didn't matter. And then he came in and he was like, no, what actually was the changing point was we had a lesson where he wasn't there, so we were meant to have cover. Yeah. And cover never showed up, so we were like, teacher doesn't turn up 15 minutes, you're legally allowed to leave.
We're out of there.
But it's like, where am I going to go? It's period 3 and I don't know how to drive. But like Ofsted were around, so we were like, oh man, like I don't want to make this guy look bad. It's not his fault that cover hasn't turned up.
100%.
So and people in the class will, if they say this didn't happen, they're lying.
Yeah.
I went round and I gave everyone like a textbook, and I was like, we were working on page 134 yesterday. Just go to page 135. If anyone comes back, we'll say he's gone to the printer.
Yeah.
And so we covered him, and he came back and he was like, "Shit, did you actually do that?"
Yeah. No.
And we were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That's
I think
impressive."
That is, and
I built that new respect for him, and then I was like, "Do you know what? This guy's like." He's an alright guy. He talked to me like a person as opposed to a student.
Do you know what? I think that's what's the thing here. Respect goes two ways. And I think,
fully.
I think sometimes the teachers who are best, I feel like, are the ones that actually respect you, and they go, you take ownership and I take some ownership, and it's like more of a two-person thing than one person speaking to a person.
So when I left to finish college, to go to uni, obviously it was still connected to the school, so I went to say goodbye because I was like, he didn't teach me in sixth form because I didn't do maths, like, let's calm down.
No offense,
but I was like,
you got me the A. So.
I was like, thank you for being like a good, you're a really good influence.
He's a good influence, he's a role model in your life.
Yeah, and I was like, I hope you do real well, and he was like, he was leaving as well, and
really?
I was like, I was really upset because I was like, one, that means he's not going to teach my sister. But I was like, the school is losing like
a great teacher,
a really high quality teacher here, and I said to him, I was like, whatever school you're going to is like. They've done well because
100%.
I was like, them teachers that you're just like sick teacher, like sick person.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a few of those and I've been really lucky, and it's funny because those are the subjects that I've actually, like, I did economics at A level. I didn't really, it was okay, I wasn't massive fan of it. It was decent, but my teacher made it so interesting, and he kind of he did that extra mile, do you know what I mean, to do examples, get everyone involved, and he'd always be cracking jokes as well, so it'd be like a fun lesson. So he'd be taking the mick out of all the students, like if we didn't do something, we turned up late, he wouldn't have a go at us, he'd just take the mick out of us and then ask us an economics question. He'd be like, well, you're late, so how is this referencing to economies of scale or something anyways. And then it'd be great though, because it made us kind of feel like we were there to have a good time and learn, not we're there just to learn and get a grade. And I think when it was like that, it meant that we all enjoyed it a lot more. And then I think we all did a lot better because of that.
So on the other end of the spectrum, I had, so for my A-level second year, I did a subject. And I had like 5 blocks of lessons in it a week. 4 of them were spent with one teacher and 1 was spent with another teacher. And this one was for coursework only. So we would literally, that one lesson a week would be dedicated to coursework. So it's pretty important. It's like
coursework,
And around Christmas, this teacher, class of 9 people, had only learnt one name. And because people would often come in. And admittedly, it was on a Thursday morning. Wednesday night was student night at the local club.
Oh, okay.
So some people would come in late, but you'd think you'd still learn their name. And people would come in and to be fair, if they're like our teacher that we had the year before, she'd be like, because we had her on a Thursday morning as well. She was like, if you're 10 minutes, I'd rather you be 10 minutes late than not turn up.
I agree with that.
So people were like, look, I'm sorry I'm late, like. And it wasn't like it was every week in, week out. I will defend them.
And in sixth form, it's a little bit more relaxed. I was fine with that, and it's a bit more on your ownership. So
they would be like, "Look, I'm getting the work done. It's my bad." Like, and it wouldn't happen every week. But she, like, around Christmas, she just went, "I've given up on all of you." Whoa. And I was like, I've never felt less motivated to work for a person ever. So one kid just got up and walked out, and I was like, you know what, fair play. Like, I don't blame you at all.
If a teacher gives up on you, it's like you're meant to be motivating me and getting me in the best place. And if you say to me, you've given up,
if you say
that means to me, like, what am I meant to do?
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure the highest grade that anyone got in the coursework was like 1 mark into a B.
Yeah, and that
2
shows.
people got used.
I think that's down to a teacher.
Yeah,
and you may have a student night, and maybe people do come in late. But if you're a good teacher, those people want to come in.
Exactly. Yeah,
and that's the difference, I think. And I think there's not enough good teachers now, and I think there's going to be only less.
She was not really interested, and so a lot of people who. So she had a class period in 1, which was her class for her subject, and then she was like, oh, I've just been dumped with you guys, period 2. So she would just keep her class in period 1 and just sit and she would keep her period 1 class in period 2 and just sit and work with them. And I was like, you're responsible for 25% of my grade, like, can you learn my name? Like,
that's mad.
I mean, she got to know our names eventually, but I was like, it was around Christmas she didn't know our names, and I was like, I've not felt less motivated to work for a person.
100%. I think they're good teachers, there's always going to be bad teachers, and that's just a fact. But the thing is, it worries me because when you have teachers like this, does it really motivate you to want to become a teacher?
I'll tell you what, when I went back in to talk to that class about staying at college, I left that thinking, I could be a teacher. Yeah, because this is quality.
When I had my good teachers, because they were like, I really felt them having a good impact on my life. And that made me go, you know what, if I was a teacher, I could have a good impact on other people. It kind of made me go, maybe I could be a teacher. But I think
you get that admiration.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at the moment, especially looking at the government with the cuts and everything, I think teachers are going to be short. There's not many people I know who are going actively, I want to be a teacher. And I know there will be, but I do think we're going to have a problem in the future, maybe, potentially, with teachers.
The school I went to,
a
lot of the teachers that taught me have since left for
same. That is same with
roles.
me, I'd just like to say, actually,
Yeah.
Same with me. And, like, my brother goes to the school still, and they're having people having to cover lessons for, like, months. Because they don't have the teacher.
I don't know what the quality of teacher replacement is. It might be just as good, but... From the teachers that have left mine, it's not just like teachers. It's when I was there, the best ones have gone, and that's a concern. Yeah. And a lot of our teachers are Canadian because Canada has like a surplus amount of teachers, so they come here and they get working, and they're all good teachers. No detraction against them, but that's what you're saying about how we might be lacking in teachers. Yeah, because we're getting them from elsewhere.
Yeah. And do you think that's going to like stop happening now though, because we've got like Brexit and stuff? Brexit and stuff stopping now. Say European teachers coming over.
I think the only subject that is the most likely to affect would be in modern foreign languages. Yeah, because obviously agreed. Canada, not part of the EU, wouldn't be a problem. But we had actual French people that taught us French. We had Spanish people that taught us Spanish. So that will probably take a hit. Depending on what happens, obviously we can't predict that, so I
think no one seems to know right now what's going to go on.
I don't think anyone's got a clue.
Yeah, and do you know what annoys me as well? Is I feel like politicians do have an idea, but I feel like they're so concerned about their own business and their own reputation that they're putting that before the country.
Yeah, almost as if they're not doing their job to represent the will of the people.
Yeah, and I would like to call them all out on that.
Treason.
With you, Theresa.
No, not Theresa. Treason.
There we go. But no, I honestly do think that the politicians, I just think they need to be honestly, I think they've got to take out their egos and they just got to go, this is for the country, what is best for the country, put all your ego aside and just do what's best for the country. Stop doing, well, if I do this, will I get voted back in?
Nah,
if I do this, do you know what I'm saying?
They won't do that. Like,
but they
if
should.
You're the type of person that wants to get into, to rule
100%.
over other people, you don't give it. You don't care.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you've got. You're the type of person that grows up thinking, I want to boss about other people.
Yeah. Agreed.
God, do one.
Yeah, literally, I agree with that. And I think the problem with it is as well is a lot of the people who I think maybe the best people to run the country, people who have no interest in politics, because they just don't want to almost pay attention because they think there's so much rubbish going on in there. And when you look at the Parliament, it's embarrassing actually. I think
it's crap, by the way. So
yeah,
you could always just quote "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" when they say, "Who am I supposed to vote for? The Republican that's blasting me in the arse, or the Democrat that's blasting me in the arse?"
Oh, 100%.
There's going to be problems no matter which way you go.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I think it's always going to be like that, and that's something you just have to accept. But I think the thing that frustrates me the most is the fact that it's a 5-year term. I think is in the UK. God, I should know this.
I believe 5 is the longest, but you can obviously call one.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And then I think what annoys me is because of that, then the politicians aim to do everything in the 5 years, because obviously then they can say, look what we've done this and this and this and this, and then vote us back in. However, what annoys me is I think what I learned in economics was if you do something in the long term, it's way more effective, whereas in the short term, there's always drawbacks of it. And the thing is, I think if we as a country we went, right, a politician put a long-term plan in place, the way the country we ran, like when you look at environmental factors, for example, we could do so much if we start implementing it now. But because the politicians don't implement it, because it will look bad on them, because people will go, well, this may take away from me. Yes, it may take away from you slightly now, but you look at the benefits we're going to receive in the future.
I'll tell you what it's like.
But they don't do it because they're like, well, if we do that, we're not going to get voted in, so I can't do that.
Did Chelsea sack Sarri now for short-term results, or, is Sarri the long-term solution? No, because everyone very quickly worked out all you do is man-mark Jorginho and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But, it's do you go for the short-term success or at what point do you invest in a long-term solution?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think there's sometimes short-term's good and sometimes long-term's good. But the politicians, I feel like they don't even look at that. They just go, what's best for our party? What's best for ourselves? Let's do that. Is it best for the country? Who cares?
Yeah, it's difficult to... Because the thing is, the big businesses have the most money and have the most influence, but
100%, yeah.
Also have the most damage to the environment.
Yeah, I agree. And it's hard because the politicians need to keep them happy.
Yeah.
So it's like a balancing act. But I think at the moment the scales are way too much towards the companies.
Maybe if they paid all their taxes. That's,
100%. Like
might help.
Starbucks, Apple. Ireland. But yeah, no. The other thing as well is talking about this is I think in the Brexit vote, I thought about this a lot, and I thought young people is going to affect the most because we're going to grow up with it.
I've done some research on this, so I'm going to let you finish, then I'm going to drop in my facts.
You can drop your facts in a minute. But what I think 16-year-olds for starters should be allowed to vote.
Okay.
Because I think they're smart, intelligent enough to vote. Obviously, people below the age of 16, fair enough. But what I also think is, this may be quite controversial, but I think people above ages maybe shouldn't have been allowed to vote. I don't know if that's too far. And obviously, like, there's a way to do this, but let's be honest, those people are going to eventually pass on. And I think the immediate effects of Brexit, they're not going to be great, but I think it's going to affect the young people so much worse, so much more, and it's going to be their whole lives, not just 20 or 30 years or whatever. And then they're on a pension there, so whereas it affects my ability to go over to Europe and work and get a job. It affects your ability to travel in Europe, and I think that's for the rest of your life, you know. And so that's why I think it should have been weighted more towards us.
I thought about the capping. Yeah. You can't do that. But you would counteract that by lowering it. So don't cap it, just lower it. I think
agreed,
But a statistic that I found.
Yeah.
You talked about, how many of them have topped it. Do you know how many who voted leave have died of old age alone? Yeah. Just old age.
Yeah.
2% of the... 2% of the people that voted leave have passed on from...
So you're telling me now...
if they are following average statistics.
Oh, average statistics, yeah.
So that's 1 in 50.
So that's saying that 2% have... And that 2% was the swing.
Yeah. That's only the 2% of the number of people that voted to
leave.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah, so of the 2% vote... Okay, because it's
the question is, have more people
that means
turned
it's even
18...
Closer.
The question is, have more people turned 18 to sway it? I don't know. I can't remember the numbers of that, but I do know.
Because a lot of people...
2% of the Brexiteer population.
That's ridiculous.
And it's sad people are dying, but that is...
You've got to look at the facts. You've got to look at this.
That's a significant amount of people that have... already gone who aren't going to...
And the thing is, it has no effect on them. And the thing is, I think the problem is it was so close.
Well, the problem is you can never predict what's going to happen. So you didn't know that was going to happen to them.
100%, yeah.
And it's sad, but it shows that... It shows a problem with the system.
I agree, yeah. And I think... Do you know, the one thing I did like about this vote, there was the fact that it was every vote counts.
It really did, yeah.
And I actually really like that, because I think proportional voting in this country, and it's in America, it's a problem, because for us, where we live, it's completely conservative, and that's fine, I suppose, but it means that every single year, like my parents vote, they have to vote tactically if they want any chance of it happening. But how long the guy in our area has been in for 16 years?
Yeah, we're a hard conservative area, so I don't bother.
It's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? It's just not worth it. You're never going to get out. Not to say
that I wouldn't vote.
I'll still vote, but
there's no political party that represents what I actually want, so I shouldn't have to settle. So
I agree.
But you should vote.
Yeah, you really should vote, honestly, because you should have your voice heard. But I still think it should be... Your vote should count more than it does.
You should vote if you believe in something. Yeah. And I am yet to meet a candidate that I believe in. Therefore, I have yet to vote for anything.
I think in France it's done a little better. I think because they do it. I think proportionally. I think they do it so one vote counts for the actual prime minister or their kind of leader.
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do that. But they also in France they have a lot more parties, so it tends to be more of a coalition. So instead of having here we tend to basically Conservative and Labour, and in America it's Democrat and Republican. So it's either one or the other. So you look at America, the last election, they had two awful candidates. Let's be honest, no one really wanted to vote for either. I'd say
he have the lowest popularity rating of a winning candidate in 40 years.
Everyone thought. Well, I remember when I was watching, everyone was like, "Well, neither of them are that great." So, but then there was no one else to vote for.
No, Bernie Sanders should have been the Democrat nominee.
Wasn't he the one who went? Who's ISIS?
I don't know.
One of them.
Surely nobody said that.
No. There was an interview on it. There was an interview and it said, they asked the guy, what would you do about ISIS? And the guy leads and he goes, who's ISIS? That was the end of his campaign.
No, because Bernie Sanders lost to Hillary in the final two for the Democrats.
Okay, so it wasn't him then. It can't have been
feel the burn.
All right. Love that.
That's really poor that somebody...
Yeah, someone actually said who was running.
I like the guy that wears a wellie on his head in America. He runs independent and he has a big old beard. He looks like a Roald Dahl character.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's a
guy.
He's a character.
He's a character.
He's a character.
This is the thing. It's kind of popularity contest now, isn't it? Personality contest. People are voting.
Personality, certainly so.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's a bad thing. It should be on the policies and what they stand
I'll
for.
tell you what. I've got a controversial opinion for you.
Go on.
And I tell a lot of people this opinion. Cause would you... I personally would have Donald Trump just to let him negotiate the Brexit deal.
Yeah, I can see that. Because he's a business guy.
Exactly. And more important, when he gets in a room, he gets what he wants, whether that's in the terms of a business deal, in allegations of illegal things. Yeah. He has a very commanding presence, and I would rather have that in a negotiation than someone who, let's be honest, Donald Trump is made fun of too, but there's a difference between being the butt of a joke and being a joke.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And I just think he would be better. Why not have someone who's been making deals all of their life make a deal?
I think, do you know what, with Donald Trump, it's an interesting one, because when you look at what he's done objectively, he's actually done, like, as a president, judging him as a president.
Yeah, as a human being.
As a human being, yeah, it's not great, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got work, like a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But as a president, like what he's done with North Korea, I mean, he went about handling it.
Who saw that coming?
Exactly. No one saw that coming. He went out and he handled it, and he's done other stuff. Like I know I can't name any, but he's delivered on quite a few of the things he said he wants to do.
Yeah, he has also done some terrible things, like separating children from their families. But
exactly, it's controversial, but it's like.
Well, I think that's unobjectively bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, agreed. I think, yeah, as I said, as a business person, he's very good at what he does.
I would have him for the deal. I wouldn't have him in general.
No, I wouldn't want him as our prime minister or whatever. But I think in the deal, he'd go into that room and he'd get us I believe he would get us one of the best deals we could get.
That's my controversial opinion. Would you, listening, want Donald Trump to negotiate the deal, or would you rather stick with Theresa May? Would you shake hands with the devil to get?
The thing is, I think Donald Trump, when it comes to business, because at the end of the day, Brexit's a business. It's a business kind of decision. It's a business negotiation.
Yeah, and at the moment it's sinking.
At the moment it's sinking. And the thing with Theresa May is she's going in there and she's like they're pushing her over really. They're just going, no, go back. And she's basically...
When she leaves the room, they definitely laugh at her.
I can imagine that, definitely.
100%. Yeah. They all have to sit there really straight-faced when they hear her heels clicking in the corridor.
They just piss themselves.
Once they hear a second door shut, they're like...
Who is this? What's going on? No, definitely. And the thing is, I think... Yeah, Donald Trump, I think he could negotiate us a better deal.
That's my controversial
opinion.
No,
I don't think that's that. I think that's a fair... It's backed up with facts.
I can understand why people wouldn't want that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I could certainly...
You may not want his persona representing our country.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that associated
and
with
I'm not a supporter of... I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump, but I agree. Yeah, I agree. Believer in the fact that, you know, he didn't build a business... He built a business empire from a small loan of $1 million. But...
Small...
To be worth $1 billion, I don't know how much he's actually worth. I might have plucked that out of thin air.
Yeah.
But to be, to start with $1 million, head start. But to make it to where he is today,
he's still done.
He has clear business skills.
No, I agree with that. How much do you reckon his net worth is? Predictions?
It's got to be over $1 billion, surely.
Yeah, you think so, wouldn't you? Although it may have gone down now, he's distanced himself from some of his assets.
He doesn't get paid to be president.
That's
he gets paid minimum wage, which I think is, fair play.
He's worth $3.1 billion US.
Is he? That's quite a bit.
So from $1 million to 3.1.
That's more than I'll earn in my lifetime.
However, do you reckon that includes inheritance? Maybe from his father's businesses? I don't know.
Actually, that's true. He would have still built on it.
I still think he's
built like.
I still think he's gone from 1 million and he's taken up as a business person. He's done well. I don't agree with all of his business.
He's undeniably good in that field.
I don't agree with him as a human being, but I think when you look at him, what he's done in terms of the business world, even to be fair to him, going from a non-politician to actually getting to prime minister,
you have to respect someone who's so good in their field.
He's climbed up. Yeah,
you have to respect them in that field. You don't have to respect them elsewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think
I did not respect Usain Bolt as a footballer whatsoever, and I thought it was a mockery to actual footballers that he tried to do that.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, let's move on to that. Let's move on to football. So moving on to football.
Yes.
Usain Bolt, footballer. What was your opinion on that whole saga?
I thought if I played in the Australian League, I'd be.
You'd be pissed off.
I'd be fuming. Yeah. I'd not be happy that someone can just come in and demand the things that he must have demanded.
Yeah.
with no proof to back it. Imagine like playing charity games.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. I think you can't go. It's hard to go. I think charity games are that. I mean, yeah.
Joe Weller's not going to turn up in the Finland league and be like, "Give me 5 contracts."
Although there was a player who played
Scott Pollock.
Yeah,
fair play.
Fair play to him.
He's 18 and he's actually really good.
But he's done it the legit way. He's gone through trials. He's worked his way from the bottom up. It's not like he's just gone in there because he's a big athlete with loads of sponsorship money. Because come on, think about the financial gain they're going to get.
Exactly. It's like,
and that's the reason he's in there.
The RCD Espanyol, the player they just signed from China, like they got like 400. They
got some kind of financial gain from it.
No, they got it's opened them up to the whole Asian market. So this guy was like he made his debut in the Chinese Super League. I feel bad for not knowing the statistics, but
yeah.
Is he called Wu Lei?
Wu
WU space LEI.
What, RSD Espanyol?
RCD Espanyol. They've signed him, and basically it's a smart. He's 27. He's been playing in the Chinese Super League his entire career. I think he made his debut very young, and he's got very good statistics for that league.
Yeah.
And they signed him, and his unveiling, it's viewer.
Wu Li?
Yeah,
Wu Li.
Yeah. The viewing figures that his unveiling reached were astronomical for the comparative size that Espanyol would be reaching. Like they're not even the second biggest.
He was playing for third tier Shanghai, and then he's transferred to RCD Espanyol. Yeah,
so obviously they're based in Catalonia, so they're living in Barcelona.
14 years. And 287 days.
That's it. I knew it was 14
That's ridiculous.
And so
that's too young. That's too young. I'm sorry.
No, but if you're good enough, you're good enough.
You think?
If you're good enough, you're good enough.
I think if you're good enough, you're good enough. But I think it depends on physical development as well. Because if you're not physically like you've reached your, because I think that like playing against adults, like 30-year-olds, as a 14-year-old.
Messi's like 5'3". Insigne's 5'2".
True.
And he's taken.
See, I didn't start playing with adults until I was 16. There's a rule actually. I say there's a rule because it bends obviously.
Yeah, you do have to.
It bends because of certain players, but the rule was I had a few players on my team who were 15 at the time. And they weren't allowed to play because they weren't old enough to play in the men's. That's what the rule said by the FA. Now, I think I agree with the rule to an extent. 'Cause I think if you're good enough, like you should be given that chance. But I think you should also be like, because come on, some 14-year-olds who haven't quite growth spurted up, haven't fully.
But then that would come into making them good enough.
True, but once you've kind of like once you're like strong enough to be able to be barged off a ball by a 30-year-old and be like fine.
But the thing is, if you're a centre back, I can understand that. If you play on the wing, like you're normally a small guy anyway. Like,
no, it's true. It's true.
There's more room for leniency.
In football, it's more like if it's rugby. Hell no.
That guy could just get round someone like Per Mertesacker.
Yeah, agree.
It would be fine for him. In certain situations, he would be more beneficial than others. So
definitely, yeah. No, I agree with that. So he brought kind of like a value to their club with the views, and he opened them up. Because let's be honest, the Chinese Asia market is massive. That's going to be massive in the future.
I can't remember how many
money-wise.
I can't remember how many people watched his unveiling, but it was like an
we think about it, like
number.
he's kind of like one of, I guess, China's like future star.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Well, he's not anymore. He's 27.
He's 27.
Yeah. So he was 14 when he made his debut.
I'm so far behind.
Yeah. It's alright, one of us knows what's going on.
Yeah,
but,
age 27, there we go.
Yeah, so it's like, I saw a rumour.
Yeah.
I believe this is only going to be a rumour that Juventus were willing to offer Dybala and money for Mo Salah. Now, I don't believe that will happen, but the logic of the article was that Juventus want to be opened up to the market that Mo Salah brings. Because in
Egypt, Africa.
Yeah, so there was a game in Egypt, and it was in like a 60,000 seat stadium, and it sold, and it was packed out like 3 hours before because they streamed Salah's game in the stadium for Liverpool in that stadium. Yeah. So it sold out, so people watched that game and then they watched the live match after, because he is that popular there. It's incredible.
When you look at African football, he's won it 2 in a row now, African Football Player of the Year. It's 2 in a row.
Possibly. I mean, Yaya Toure won it like 4 or 5 years, several years.
But this guy right now, like he's where it's at in Africa.
So he's where it's at in general.
In general, he's where it's at.
Is there a better right winger in the Premier League? Maybe Nigel Farage.
No, he is honestly absolute quality. And
if Raheem Sterling played on the right, then yes.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I think if he wins the league this year, can I say Ballon d'Or?
Do you reckon?
Do you know what? I think he should be. He should be. I think
every year that Lionel, I see it said a lot.
No, Lionel Messi should win Ballon d'Or like nearly every year. But I think he's got to have a bit more of. I don't know.
He needs to stop diving.
Messi?
No.
Salah. Yeah, he does. He does. I just think Salah is what he's done with Liverpool is is incredible. I think.
I see
he's a great
the idea
talisman.
thrown around that every year that Lionel Messi is alive, he's the best footballer on the planet, and it's like, you know what, you're not wrong. He's very good.
I'm the most heavily biased person to talk about this because I'm Lionel Messi. Like, I'm a massive fan. Like, I think he's the best player ever we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like the goal scoring stats, the skill and technique, the passing ability, the goals, just everything. Like, as a player.
But according to Pele, can't score a header when he's got no weak foot.
Yeah, but when you look at Pele,
the header that Messi scored against Ferdinand and Van Sar, that cross is so good.
And also. Pele, a lot of his games were in amateur leagues because back then, admittedly...
One of his games where he scored a couple of goals was against the US Navy team.
And he's counting these goals.
That's hilarious.
And the thing is, a lot of his goals were in like 8, 9, 10, 11 nil games. And I'm like, mate, those don't count. Let's be honest. Messi is going against the Spanish competition. It's very high.
I believe there was a game where Pele's team played... I want to say it was Eusebio's Benfica.
Yeah.
And Pele's team destroyed them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, fair enough if you...
Yeah.
But you didn't. You played for Santos, and then you played for, what was it, New York Cosmos?
Yeah, they weren't big team. The competition wasn't quite there. Now, I'm not taking away that he's a great player, but he wasn't even the best player on his Brazil team. Like, the players were getting goals.
I don't want to detract from the MLS, but obviously Gordon Banks, rest in peace. After he finished football, he was in a car accident and he went blind in one eye, and then he went and won the American Second Division. So you've got a goalie who was blind in one eye, and he won your league. So I think to question the quality.
The MLS is improving slowly. It's slowly getting. The problem is over here in Europe, it's still viewed, I think, a bit of like a retirement league.
Do you prefer? I prefer the MLS to China.
Yeah,
China have spent more money on players in their prime.
But China are throwing money at it, and that's just not really appealing to me. As a fan, I wouldn't just want to watch just because I don't think that should be how things get good.
Although Giovinco's gone to like the Saudi league now.
But what happened to Oscar? He disappeared off the face of the planet when he went to China. Where's he gone? No one even knows what's going on with him anymore.
Have any players come back from America and banged it in Europe? Because like Paulinho
Defoe? I think Defoe came back.
Defoe is the right answer.
He's the one.
I was going to say Paulinho banged it for that season.
Mate,
Barcelona.
yeah,
he
did.
Was phenomenal.
He came in.
I don't understand. Well, they shipped him back because they could only have so many non-EU players.
Yeah.
And they brought in Arthur, who, in fairness, has been...
Arguably. He's the next like kind of shabby Iniesta.
Has he been the best centre mid this season in the world? He's in the debate.
He's up there. When you watch him play, he just doesn't lose the ball. He's very good. Honestly,
can we get a press-resistant player like that, please?
Yeah. Blackburn Rovers supporter right here. We'll jump into that.
Do you want to?
Let's do it. It's got to be done. Okay. Blackburn Rovers, I think. For all of the people who don't watch Championship football, I think you should. You really should. Like, isn't it it's a bit most viewed second division in the world?
So yeah,
it has to be.
It is.
It is the biggest. Like, I go to Spain and I say Reading, and they know who Reading is.
Yeah.
And that for me says everything. They know Championship teams.
They know us from 10 years. If you were going to Spain, they would know us from like 10
years. Yeah, from the Premier League.
We had Michel Salgado kicking out right back. What a dog.
Yeah, honestly. But no, Blackburn. Let's get into it. So what's happened with you? Because you come out of the Premier League.
So
you've been in the Championship for a while now.
Yeah, including a stint in League One. I'll tell you what, I went to MK Dons away in League One. Their stadium's phenomenal.
Oh no, MK Dons.
MK Dons' stadium is phenomenal.
Can you imagine every team in League One going to play there?
They're in League Two now. Their stadium's phenomenal.
League Two. Can you imagine going there to League Two play? You're like, oh my god, jeez, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's massive, isn't it?
Obviously, I don't want to talk about what had gone wrong in that spell.
Because it's starting to come on the up now, isn't
some of the information that I have is I need to check what can be said and what can't be said.
And as soon as we have that, we will be releasing another podcast.
That could be a podcast on its own.
That will be future.
So we went in the season we got relegated from the Championship.
The Blackburn Files.
Blackburn behind the scenes. The season we got relegated from the Championship.
Yeah.
Tony Mowbray was appointed with I think maybe 8 games to go. He couldn't keep us up.
Mm-hmm.
Did a fantastic job. Finished second in League One, and now this season we're back in the Championship. Since Tony Mowbray came to the job, no Blackburn manager has averaged more points per game than Tony Mowbray since you got 3 points for a win.
Damn.
That is admittedly, that comes with a season in League One.
But it doesn't matter because
worse resources.
Exactly. As soon as you go into League One, let's be honest, players they leave. And
luckily we just got rid of. Let's be honest, we got rid of Deadwood, and we brought in Bradley Dack, who, biased opinion, should get an England cap.
Yeah.
We brought in we brought in players like Dominic Samuel, who has been he's been injured. Like he'll come good. We brought in Richie Smallwood, who was really good in the division. He's stepped up amicably. Yeah. We recruited well, and we retained even better.
You managed to hold on to those players for that year and just say, look, spare with us.
We are going to get back. It's no problem.
Do you know what I think that brings me on to is Rafa Benitez. I have massive props for him staying with Newcastle when they got relegated.
Yeah.
And going through the Championship, because it really showed how much of a class manager he is.
He puts up with a lot of crap.
Yeah, but I think that was great because it just showed like we've been relegated. I'm not just going to bail because it's like a low league. I'm going to see this through.
I'm a big fan of Rafa.
And I think that I love that. Honestly, I really did. I think that was a quality. But going back to Blackburn. So you managed to retain. You came back up.
We came back up, and things are going all right. We are, I believe now we've fallen down to 14th.
You were 12th, I think, before the Reading game.
The highest we've been this season. I think we were 8th at one point. We were at one point we were 3 points off the playoffs, and that's for not. When you look at the other teams that came up with us, were Wigan, who came up as champions, and Rotherham, who came up in the playoffs. Yeah. They are like 8th, 19th, and 20th, like roughly. I don't know their exact positions. Sorry, it's just I don't really care about you. You're not that good.
It's alright, guys. I care a little bit, so I'll search it up.
I don't, and I want to make that clear. But in comparison to the other teams that came up, we're performing way better than them. And so I've only managed to go to 4 games this season. I went to at Ewood. I went to a 0-0 with Millwall.
14th, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a 0-0 with Millwall. I went to a 2-2 with Reading. And then away, I went to the 5-2 loss at Brentford, and I went to the 2-1 loss at Reading.
Now, this is interesting because that 2-1 loss was literally 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm very annoyed because I got offered the chance to go to, because I have a friend who has season tickets with some other mates.
I got offered the chance to go to Tottenham Dortmund, and I went to this game instead.
No, that's real fan dedication though. Like that is this man is like Blackburn supporter through and through.
Yeah,
like
when it's a 10-hour round trip for a home game.
Exactly.
And it was a 0-0 against Millwall.
Dedication.
That's what it's dedication.
But yes, I was really gutted I didn't go because I was actually working on the podcast and I was actually working on getting stuff done for the YouTube. So at least I was doing something productive. But when I saw the score on 2-1 last minute goal, I was like, mate, I've missed out on limbs, to be honest with you. But there we go.
I'm going to talk about that game. I want to talk about that game.
We want to talk about that game.
I want to talk about that game.
Let's dive into it. Come on.
So
give me your views.
Immediately, we started with a rotated lineup.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Reading, but based on positions in the league table prior to this game, you would assume could have afforded to have had a slightly rotated lineup because normally our main striker is Danny Graham, and he's like 33.
Yeah.
So he's at that point where at the end of the season his contract just gets extended by a year.
Yeah. They just keep it going just to see how long he can go for.
I saw some report that he shouldn't be playing 2 games a week now. So we started with
you've got to look after him though. If he's a key,
he's so good,
influential, experienced. You want him around in the club because for the younger guys to learn from him and look up to him, you want him around as long as possible.
So we started with a front 3 of Craig Conway, who I believe is the joint longest serving player at the club, with Corey Evans. Might be wrong there, especially if you're counting players who were in the academy but weren't in the first team at the time. Yeah. And then we started with a front 3 of Craig Conway, Adam Armstrong, and Ben Brereton.
Yeah.
Now, Conway is like 32 as well, but Brereton's 19, and I think Armstrong turned 24 on the 10th. His birthday's on the 10th. I think he turned 24.
Yeah.
That's something Tony Mowbray's done really well. It's built a lot younger squad. Like we've got a few old players, Mulgrew, Graham, and Conway, but I think they're the only players over 30.
Yeah. So you got a lot of like young
that spring to mind. There may be more that I'm sorry if I forgot them, but
apologies.
Yeah. But he's made the average age of the squad a lot younger, so we've got a lot of young players. But
that's good for the future.
In starting with 19-year-old Brereton and Armstrong, who I think is 24, the pressing was really good. Yeah. So Armstrong is rapid. Mini Shearer, we call him, because he came from Newcastle. Shearer, there you go. His chasing down, his pressing of the Reading keeper was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And it's very clear to me, or I believe, that we have taken this from Brentford. Because at the Brentford game, we got pressed out of our minds. We in my opinion, the reason I think we're the team that's conceded the most goals after 75 minutes in the league. Might have changed, but at one point we were.
And that's really bad. You don't want to be conceding late goals. That's awful. Yeah.
So to me, that comes from because in that time when teams need a goal, they press up higher. Yeah. We are not a very press resistant team.
You're not good at handling that kind of press. Yeah.
No. So and that was why we got rightfully battered by Brentford. Like those first 7 minutes were the best 7 minutes I've ever seen us play live when we went 2-0 up. But then Brentford played very well. Their pressing was phenomenal and they rightfully beat us.
No, agreed.
Like it sucked, but you just have to admit when you got played off the park. But then at Reading, we pressed really well. I think that having Mulgrew at the back, the guy has more Champions League goals than Lacazette. amazing. Plays in defence for
Get
us.
this guy, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he played in the game where Celtic beat Barcelona 1-0. And they had like one shot, and Barcelona had like 30. But I might be wrong. But he was there around. He was there
around about there.
Yeah, absolute legend. I know some Celtic fans that are gutted that he left, and it's like fair enough because
I'd be gutted. Yeah.
I love the man, but his experience
more
at that
goals
level,
than Lacazette. That's something you got.
Only in Champions League because Lacazette's not really
No,
played.
in a Champions League, but
I think Lacazette might only have one season in the competition, but
Hey,
Mulgrew is a defender of Celtic.
Exactly.
So something that he has so our three centre backs are Mulgrew, Jack Rodwell.
Yeah.
Who's having a renaissance at Blackburn.
Yeah,
I really like him.
Right.
Like, genuinely, I like him. And Darrell Lenihan, who is a tank. There's no other way of putting it. So we've been playing with Rodwell and Lenihan recently, and they played at Brentford, and they did really well. But they're obviously not perfect, and something that I think Mulgrew has over them is his ability to pick out, because he used to play in midfield. It's his ability to pick out a pass, and having
that in your defence
is very good.
I think the way football's going
At this level
with Guardiola, it needs to be on the floor, fast, move, tiki-taka kind of football. And I think having defenders now who are competent and very skillful and comfortable on the ball that's the new norm.
Yeah,
You're not going to get those guys just lumping out there now. Like, they need to be able to play with their feet.
Having Mulgrew is good for being a pressure-resistant side. But so against people that have been slagging, I just want to talk about Jack Rodwell really quickly, because there have been questions asked of his character. That's facts. But I think he has been very good at Blackburn. Yeah. There was one point where he was just outside our box and he got tackled, and I was like, this is a problem. And he put in a crunching tackle to get the ball back, and it fell to another Reading player, and he put in a second spanking
right there,
tackle
that's the player you want playing for you. Someone who makes a mistake, but they don't just go, you look at some of these pros up there, they're just I've lost the ball. This guy, he gets back in, and he does the job, and he makes up for it. That's the most important thing.
It was an isolated incident.
Yeah. You can forgive a mistake if that's how he responds.
Yeah, fully. And with the questions that have been asked of his character, to see him do something like that. Like, I saw him do that, and I was like, that's Jack Rodwell.
Fucking fair play, mate, yeah.
As a Blackburn fan, I back him.
Yeah.
Because we only bought him in on a 1-year deal. Yeah. So when we signed him, I was like, this is a risk.
Yeah.
But we bought him in on a 1-year deal, and so negotiations opened up for an extended deal, and he is 1,000% earned that. I'm big on him being at the club. I really like him. But obviously, we went 1-0 down to Reading. Then it was half time. We went 1 down right on the brink of half time. I struggled. Second half.
Got one back.
Second half, Amari Bell, who a lot of Blackburn fans are critical of Amari Bell, and I think the reasons they're critical of Amari Bell is that they're pointing out the weaknesses to his strengths. So Amari Bell is very much a wing back as opposed to a full back. He's played some games as a left mid as opposed to a left back, so he's very attacking.
Okay,
and the problem is that means that he leaves gaps defensively.
A lot of wing backs now they're transferring either from a left wing or to
his recovery pace is not fantastic. I was going to compare him to a Premier League player. I would compare him to Trippier. Yeah, because his recovery pace is not fantastic. Obviously, it's on the other side.
Yeah, the player's getting forward, very far forward, but then if they can recover, it's good. But obviously, then you have that can expose those three defenders at the back sometimes.
And that showed with Bell bagging our goal in that game. But unfortunately, in pushing up again, we were caught out. I mean, the winning goal for Reading was a great shot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's a great shot, and I was just like, damn. But
fair play. Yeah,
we should have had a penalty. Reading fans said it wasn't a penalty. It was quite a weird situation. Okay, so from where I'm standing, I'm behind the goal. Dax got his front to the crowd of us, and he gets taken out from behind and goes down. The guy doesn't win the ball, and Dax am I going to get a pen? The ref says no, and Dax gets up and tries to carry on playing with the ball. Yeah. So the Reading fans are booing him for diving.
So he's gone down and he's got up to continue playing.
He's gone down. He's appealed for the penalty. The guy hasn't got the ball because Dak still has it, and the ref's not giving it. And then Dak gets up and plays on. And so Reading fans are obviously booing him for trying to simulate. And I'm like, if he was simulating, why didn't he get booked? It was weird because he didn't get booked for simulating. But the guy didn't win the ball, and there was contact to make that go down. It was an odd one, because neither thing happened. We didn't get a pen, but he didn't get booked for simulation. And Reading fans were slagging him off, but they didn't mention any comment of when their attacker...
50-50.
Reading fans didn't make any comment of when their attacker did the exact same thing in our box 10 minutes later. But
it's always going to happen.
We'll let them slide, you little fickle bastards.
Right, I'm going to have a Reading fan in here next, I think. Yeah, so we'll let him respond to that.
Something else I hate about Reading is
the place where he lives.
FC. £8.50 for a pint of pie. But I don't like how if you're in the away end, so you've got the pitch, and then the first 15 rows back.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
They're like canopied over, and it's like
that is pretty bad.
I can understand it sideways because
the fans kind of breaking in, like fighting.
Well, the Reading don't really have a rivalry.
Swindon, but they're not. We don't ever play them. Yeah, no, Swindon is that is the kind of like your derby kind of
Swindon's
team.
A dumb. Oh, I don't care.
But But the thing is, I don't even know when the last time they faced off.
No, but it detracts from the atmosphere that our front row of supporters is
can't
like
get
20 rows pitch, back from the pitch. Like, I'm not. No one's going to throw coins anymore. No one from Blackburn can afford to.
Yeah.
It's
right. Fair enough.
It is a shame that I don't understand why it's done. I would like an explanation because it detracts from the.
And the thing
experience.
is, you say that, but then you look at the Reading fans; they're allowed to sit just as far forward.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're going to do it for one, you've got to do
the
the
other end behind the goal is, and it's like if you can give me a good reason for this, then I can allow it. But you haven't, and it detracts from the experience as a fan.
I think,
and what they also do, the sneaky bastards.
Quickly, as a fan, you always have to be as close to the pitch as possible, and I think that's why it kind of ruins it. But go on.
What they also do, the sneaky bastards, is we're attacking that end in the second half when it's crunch time, and so what happens is when the ball goes out of play, it goes under the canopy, and the ball boys are like,
CBA
can't find it. Oh no! So then they waste a good 30 seconds to a minute getting the ball back on the pitch, and that was EFL integrity breach there. It's up there with Huddersfield making 11 changes to get us relegated against Birmingham. But that's
official complaint over here from Ellis to the EFL.
We've got
to get a response.
There was something shifty about. I was at that game, and people can say this didn't happen, but I saw it with my own two eyes. We had to get 2 or 3 new balls brought on when we had corners, because they disappear onto this canopy and no one can find them. Yeah. And then at full time, these 2 little shit ball boys come out carrying all the balls, and I'm like, fam, the players haven't left the pitch yet. Where were these?
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. Yeah, that's mad.
That's just poor.
That brings me back to the one Chelsea-Swansea when the ball boy.
He tweeted about that though. He knew what he was doing. He
knew what he was doing. Yeah. But it throws me back to that when he got the guy red carded.
I would like an explanation as to why Reading fans why we have to be taken away as an away fan, because it is a shame.
How's it been at other, Brentford, for example, and other?
The Brentford Stadium they're in need of a new one.
Falling apart.
Madejski Stadium is really.
Madejski's really nice.
It's a really nice Championship stadium.
Oh, 100%.
It's a nice stadium for the Championship. It's really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Facilities are great, but I would like to be.
I think
able to see the game.
It's a bit uncalled for, isn't it? I suppose.
I would just like to
better experience as a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. Blackburn took 635 as well.
Yeah, and you were saying that shit earlier.
So they won't have got home until about 3 a.m.
I think that's very good away support. When Reading came over, how many was it?
Figures said about 250, but being at the game, it was closer to about 150.
Yeah.
So Reading's Twitter can say they took that many, but using my eyes, I don't. As
a supporter in the stadium,
as someone who went to both games, I think we took about. I think it would be fair to say double what they took.
Yeah.
And I think based on positions in the league, especially retrospective of times in the season when those fixtures were played, I think you can understand them taking less. But I heard Reading fans slagging off the attendance that we bought, and I thought,
that's uncool.
How many of you went away?
How
many of you went to the other fixture?
Yeah, it's true.
If you didn't,
10 hours. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a 10-hour round trip.
You got to remember, football fans chat a lot of shit though. So
no, I got nothing wrong with the banter. So I was getting stick off Reading fans, and I was like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But at the same time,
part of the game.
If you went to the game and you were a big fan, I 100% take it.
100%. It's part of the game. It's nothing personal.
If you're an armchair fan, fuck off.
Oh yeah, we got.
If I saw, you can. Don't tell me.
You turn up to one game.
Don't tell me that your Twitter told you that you bought more fans when I saw with my own 2 eyes that you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's just leave that be. You know. On the whole stadium thing, I do think that the best stadiums are the ones that are closest to the pitch.
Yeah.
I look at some stadiums, especially in Europe, where you have the athletics track going around it.
Yeah,
and the new West Ham one as well. It's in England, but these stadiums, I do feel like, I think as an atmosphere point of view, I'd a lot prefer stadiums where you're close to the atmosphere, where the stadium is on the pitch, where you feel like you're right on top of it. Because when you go to West Ham, they're making jokes. The fans have binoculars so far to watch,
I'll tell you what. I was fortunate enough to visit Feyenoord Stadium and get a tour of Feyenoord Stadium in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And they have a moat between the pitch and the fans.
No.
So the tunnel, I've been down the tunnel, comes up through the ground.
Yeah.
So the moat is not filled with water.
Yeah,
it's
just
like
like a
used to like transport
ditch,
facilities and stuff, and it's to stop people getting up. But I was like, but the thing is, it's not a wide moat. It's like a lane of a road, maybe a bit more.
Okay,
But the seats like overhang it a bit, so the actual gap between the fans and the pitch is only like maybe a road.
Yeah.
And
Only a road.
That's better.
Single lane? Single lane?
Yeah, no, single
lane. Single lane. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I meant. So that's better than a whole pitch. But the problem is, I'm going to bring it back to Nalletamby.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So the way that we were segregated,
not
segregated, pushed back from these canopies. That
I'll put a picture up on that.
Yeah, it was about 20 rows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a lot. 20.
So that's
I'm thinking in my head, to be fair, 'cause I honestly don't really notice it because I'm on the other side.
Yeah, that's like
but
having
20 is a lot.
That's
like.
I mean, I might be over exaggerating that, but that's like having a track in the way. Now, when you're front row of supporters are that far away, if they're trying to do it to have a psychological impact on supporting the away team, then like
I wouldn't be surprised that's the case at all.
To me, that makes sense because Blackburn
does.
fans aren't going to have a fight with Reading fans. You've got enough police to deal with them.
And you've got that gap in there between them.
You've got the gap between Nalletamby, I really like Nalletamby as a stadium. No, I've given Reading some stick and I've slagged them off, but their stadium is fantastic.
It's a very nice stadium.
And they've been there 20. Oh, also on their TV, right. On their TV screens in the away end, because they've got good facilities.
Yeah.
It said Blackburn fans have travelled 400 odd miles from Ewood Park. They spelled Ewood wrong, right? EWOOD. There's no A in it. I looked at it and I thought, fam, like, you've already played there this season. I was like, no, but
whoever's on that, it's just true.
Whoever's on that, it's like. That's not even like a troll error. That's just like.
That's just they're just fucked up.
New job, and it's not like it was like E number 6 WOOD. It's just like a typo. It's like you've just spelt it wrong.
You've just literally done it quickly in a rush.
Yeah,
spelt it wrong.
But I feel like at Reading it was like a psychological advantage to not have the away fans there, and that's just it's not. I get it. It's frustrating as a fan, but then you can also say it's not frustrating. Stadium. It's upsetting because
it's their stadium, though. No, do they not have the right to because you're not filling up the entire?
Not with the prices they're charging me to have. I don't know to be honest.
He's trying it.
Parking was more than my ticket. Actually, I know that much. Parking was more than my ticket. About 18 to 24 ticket. Parking was more than my ticket.
Yeah.
No. It's upsetting because that means that. If you shifted everyone 20 rows forward,
I think when you travel 10 hours as well, that is.
We had people on the back row.
Yeah,
that's not good enough when there is these extra seats available.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
but so there are some stadiums where it's just built in with the running track. And
I hate honestly those stadiums. Like it frustrates me because there's nothing better than football. When they score a goal, you run over to your fans, celebrate with them. But we were talking about this earlier. In these stadiums, they score a goal, they run for 20, 30 seconds, then they arrive.
You've got time.
And I don't know, I think it's just not as great. Like, especially from a...
Big clubs do this. So Roma and Lazio, stadium share at the Stadio Olimpico.
Yeah.
Monaco do this at their stadium.
Monaco.
And West Ham do this. Those are just off the top of my head.
Oh, there's loads more,
there's definitely
tons,
more. But it's a shame because West Ham Stadium... Is it currently the newest stadium in the Premier League? Newest entire stadium. Tottenham's will overtake.
I think
is it the newest stadium in the Premier League? It might be because obviously Anfield had. I was going
to say that doesn't count though as refurbishment.
No. Because the facilities.
I think we can agree. We can agree that it was the newest stadium at the moment.
The facilities in it are phenomenal.
Yeah,
but.
It's Olympic Stadium. It's going to be
but West Ham's fans have really good home attendance. They have better.
They're very dedicated, especially through the hard time they've been going through.
They have
fans
a fantastic
have been losing it, so they have stuck through it. Yeah,
they have a fantastic fan base, and I personally don't really like West Ham as a club. I thought until this season, their transfer business was shambolic. It was just short-termism. It was just they signed 20, a ridiculous amount of strikers. I don't actually know how many it was, so I don't want to say 20.
Yeah.
They signed a ridiculous amount of strikers. It just didn't bang. But now this season, their transfer business is like Diop and Felipe Anderson has been fantastic.
Who did they get? They got someone else as well. They've got them in what's his face back, Nasri.
Oh,
they've brought him in the Premier League, haven't they?
That's a return to their short-termism. But actually, to be fair, he played really well against Arsenal. But
God, I've just typed in West Ham 4-2 lost to AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah, West. That's a shame. But I think West Ham fans, they're so good that they deserve to be closer to the action because they.
Yeah,
I
do.
Die-hard support
100%.
And I think that obviously Monaco, they only average like 10,000 fans a season. That's really not that many for a club.
It's a small stadium though,
and a club that won the league.
And they're in the Champions League.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in
sorry.
a relegation battle at the moment.
I take that back. I'm thinking back to that amazing season before PSG turned in and bought all of their players.
They might have been eliminated from the Champions League, but they were definitely in it at the start of this season.
Yeah, but they were What I'm saying is they were in the Champions League. That was like year. You know what year I'm on about? Where they
I know the year when Kylian broke out,
and then decided he thought PSG rivals. Let's head over.
Well, apparently he had the same offer from Real Madrid, but he didn't accept it because he didn't think he'd get enough game time.
But do you know what though? I do think that's a fair point because I think as a young player he needs game time to develop.
Fam, I believe he'd have got game time.
But
if you look at how much game time Vinicius Junior's getting,
that's true. Do you know what though?
Mbappe's better than him.
I'm gonna say it straight out. Mbappe, he is special. Like he's gonna be. You look at Messi and Ronaldo now.
He needs to get out of Liga as soon as possible.
Oh, 100%. But he is going to be one of the best players of this generation. Easily.
I have a question for you.
Go on.
Would you look at him as one of the greatest if he stays in Liga for his entire career? Because obviously he's won the World Cup.
It's hard because Ligue 1 is just the competition, isn't there?
There's no depth.
You look in Europe, the competitions where the best players will, you kind of say the hardest competition. Premier League number 1, the Liga number 2.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of between Serie A and the Bundesliga.
I think
Serie A is just there at the moment, and then because Bayern Munich are just dominating.
Not anymore, obviously. Jadon Sancho killing it, my guy.
Sancho representing
ridiculous.
England, yeah.
He's got 12 assists this season already. 12. Maybe 8 goals in like 25 appearances with some good portion of the sum. It's been fantastic.
But I do think I think Neymar wants to get out of there as well because he's realised how bad the.
I'm done with him.
100%. No, he should have stayed at Barcelona when he left, and he's got really. He dives a lot more than he used to.
I can sympathise. He's become a lot of a.
I feel like he's whining too. Do you know what I mean? He's becoming more.
His ego's been.
Yeah, his ego. He's got too big, and he's just.
How many yachts did his dad get for the transfer? I can't remember. I can't remember the exact figure.
Yeah, but I think it was driven by the wrong intentions. That whole transfer was.
Well, the thing is, I can understand him saying like, "I want to be the main man."
I agree with that as well. Yeah,
I think he rushed it,
and I don't think.
If you want to be the main man, why go to Barcelona in the first place? Because they're paying your dad in yachts.
No, he went to Barcelona in the first place to grow and learn under Messi, and then after he'd grown and learned and he'd become his own player, he wanted to.
As long as Messi's playing football, Neymar's not going to be better than him.
No, agreed.
That's my opinion. If you
and
disagree,
I just think I think I would have rather seen him wait maybe and then gone to a Premier League team and decided to lead that because I just think Ligue 1, there's just where's the competition?
He would get shattered in the Premier League.
Oh, he would.
Because he'd have come when Ryan Shawcross was still kicking about. Ryan Shawcross would have murdered him.
I think, but I honestly think, I think that move was one of the worst moves.
Also,
really
the
was.
Impact that it had on the transfer market.
Yeah, and do you know what? It skyrocketed it now. Like, because now you can't get a good player for anything over. It has to be over 100 million, hasn't it?
Basically,
it's a joke. And the thing is, it's just.
Well,
it's a joke. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Depending on the deal we get, if we leave the depending on transfer of minors, your club may not be able. Depending on the deal, so don't crucify me. May not be able to
Theresa
sign.
May, we have no idea what that's going to be.
May not be able to sign European players under the age of 18.
Oh.
Unless you go through the same process of signing like South American kids, which like at Real Madrid they have to pay the fee and then he doesn't come over until he's like 18. I don't know the exact logistics of it. If you do want to know the exact logistics of it, head over to, I believe it was on Eurofootball Daily. Chris Hamill did a fantastic one-on-one video about Brexit's impact on the Premier League. If you want to know about Brexit in relation to sport, I would 100% recommend checking that video out.
Go check that out. I'll link it in the description so you can go look at that.
It's a fantastic video. Shout out.
Brilliant.
I mean, they don't need it, but
so let's go Champions League then.
Who are you backing to win it?
Who am I backing to win it? It's a good question. I think Juve.
You think?
I think they're quality. I think Juve. I'm just trying to think now. I'm just blanking on myself.
You've got Manchester City.
Manchester City.
Real Madrid, perennial winners.
How on earth have I managed to just completely...
Well, the thing is, Manchester City
I think Manchester City are gunning for the Champions League this year. I really do. Because I think last year, they weren't happy. They went out to Liverpool. They didn't perform as well as they should have done. I think they want to win it. I really do. I think that's bigger into them than the Premier League right now.
Juventus have got Atletico Madrid. That's going to be a good. That's arguably the best tie. So Real Madrid are ahead against Ajax, but Ajax was so good in that game. Ajax were phenomenal.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about this. VAR.
Oh, you want to talk about video assisting Real?
Let's go into VAR quickly, actually, now.
Yeah?
Because I watched the highlights of that game.
I also watched the highlights of that game.
We probably watched the same highlights on YouTube.
BT Sports highlights.
Indeed, I did.
Yeah. Shout out the official
highlights of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I felt that I like VAR. I watch a lot of rugby, and I like the fact that video referee, it really does fairn the game up, and I feel like it means that a lot of decisions that would be unfairly gone against the team, it cuts most of them out. And yeah, you have the odd bad decision, and that happens. But I think VAR, I feel frustrated because in football it's very grey. Like there's no black and white, and that's what's in rugby. It's more black and white.
For me, I've got a problem with VAR that's related to Blackburn Rovers.
Of course.
In our FA Cup replay against Newcastle, so the first leg was at. Oh crap! Which way round was it? Because I watched the game. The first leg must have been at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And they have VAR because it's a Premier League ground.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But then when you come to a Championship ground, they don't have VAR. And we can't afford to get it installed.
No, it's not expected.
We lost 4-2 in extra time. It was 2-2. One of the goals they scored in normal time and one of the goals they scored in extra time were both clearly offside. Like... Not as in clearly, as in replay showed they were clearly offside.
As in when you look at it, go back on the footage, you can't blame the official, but you look back on the footage.
They are goals that VAR would have corrected. Yeah. And obviously if that one doesn't happen in normal time, we would have won 2-1. And if the one doesn't happen in extra time, it
would have changed the whole game.
As a championship club, like the FA Cup is huge for the championship teams.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a record amount of non-Premier League teams at this stage of the competition where it is now. And like the last trophy we won, obviously we got the second place one for League One last season. Yeah. The last trophy we won was the League Cup in like 01-02. Like I've never lived us winning like a big trophy. Yeah. And like obviously I'm not saying we would have won the cup at all.
As England supporters, we are still waiting. 2022, here we come.
No, UEFA Nations League is coming home. I've also ordered
100%.
I've ordered a Dutch shirt, so if it goes wrong, I'm covered.
But they were. Where were they at the World? Well, no.
They weren't at
True, of course.
Did you know, since their manager took over, the only team to beat them by... the team that's beaten them by the biggest margin is Southgate's England.
Quality.
Southgate, you're the one.
You are fucking...
But the magic of the cup is like a real thing for clubs that can't achieve that super glory. So it's like I would love to see us play at Wembley.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if we were in the playoffs and we got to play at Wembley, that would be. It's
like what I love is all and it's like I think the lower leagues they have their like finals, the competitions and so they're all in there, and I think that's just brilliant because it's like the road to Wembley.
I don't want to just talk about Blackburn because I imagine I'm the only person who's going to listen to this that cares about Blackburn. But
it's alright, we're going to hit up Blackburn supporters on Facebook. It looks like,
but like
drive those views.
Speaking for you fans of the Championship and League One because I was there,
definitely.
And League Two because I understand that is important as well. Fans that feel
in England are one of the most dedicated football fans in the world.
Fans that feel underrepresented.
Agreed.
Like I get that, and it sucks because that could have happened to any. I'm sure that did happen to other clubs. In this tie or in the earlier rounds that I just wasn't aware of because I didn't watch the game, and it's like it sucked because we couldn't afford to get VAR, we had to lose
suffer
out.
for it. But the thing with VAR is I think they need to clean it up a little bit, and I don't know how they need to clean it up, but I feel like when the referee goes over and he looks at it, I think there's a lot of pressure on him.
There is certainly.
I don't like that aspect. I don't like the fact that the referee has to go VAR and then he decides, right, I now have to run to the halfway line.
Yeah.
I have to look at this TV. Because obviously the referee's doing. Yeah. He's active. He's running around. He's hot and sweaty. When you're hot and sweaty and you're really in the heat of the moment, when you come over and you've got to suddenly focus on something and make a decision, there's so much going through his mind.
In my opinion,
I think you need a second person. I think that's what I think personally. I think you need a second person upstairs who's looking at it and goes yes or no. This is my input. But he has to have I just think they should take the main. Well, in rugby, what they do is there's a guy up there called the video ref.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, right, I need you to look into this for me. He looks into it. He goes, this is what happened. This is what I've seen. I've objectively identified this is the reason I think this should happen. Referee goes, okay, you've got the best view. We go with that.
Yeah, that's for me. I was just about to say the biggest problem for me in football.
That's what it should
is
be.
That if the VAR can only recommend.
Then there's a disagreement.
The ref can then say no.
He should be able to overrule.
The ref should have to. If someone with 30 different angles says there was a problem,
overrules the ref.
Yeah. Well, no, not to make the ref should still make the decision. But if the VAR say, I've got 30 different, however many it is different.
Yeah, angles, I've got this much evidence.
you weren't looking.
Yeah.
You should go and look. The referee should not then say, me looking the other way is better than you with your 30 different cameras.
I agree, yeah. No, 100%.
You should not be able to say that facts are not as good as your opinion.
Yeah, and I think that will help clean up the game so much.
So
and
that's like an ego thing, like, you know.
I think referees definitely, because they're in charge and they don't want to be undermined. I suppose they don't want to be undermined, and they feel like someone's telling them how to do their job.
You can understand that, but at the same, you can understand that, and you can understand them wanting to be respected by the players on the pitch, because the players on the pitch can just go, well, I mean, you're just reporting to the big man, like.
Yeah, they can then just go, well, that's fine what you said, but I want what the VAR say, kind of thing.
But I think that you can't dispute someone who has such an advantage.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think. Like going back to rugby, because I think in rugby they have implemented it so well.
Football has a lot to learn.
Oh, yeah, they do, and I do think like a lot of football fans not big fans of rugby, but I don't care. You have to look at their technology.
Yeah,
video.
I don't really care about rugby.
Exactly, but you have to look at what they've done that game and the way they've done it, and it as somebody who watches both, the difference in football and rugby, it is massive. There's still so much to cover, because in rugby it's kind of everyone knows the procedure. He goes through the procedure. It's very, very well explained. You can listen to the referee on the TV. You hear what he's saying. You go, right, fair enough. So then even if you don't agree with the decision, you can see how he's reached it. And on the odd decision where you may not disagree with it, he's given you a valid reason from the rules on why he's awarded this. And then as a fan, you can go, okay, I disagree. I may disagree with how he's perceived it, but he's provided a fair point.
Yeah.
Through video technology.
Yeah,
and I think in football you don't really get that clarity, and I think a lot of the time it may leave fans, although maybe they may disagree with it, they may not even know why why the referee's given it.
People say that like it slows down the game, but like if you'd have said to me, I didn't go to the Blackburn,
you'd rather it slow down the game and get the right decision.
I would rather wait 20 minutes
Simple.
and not get eliminated by 2 offside goals.
100%. Yeah,
I'm sure that plenty of fans would agree that you would rather it done right at the expense of like 5 or 10 minutes. And
I also think they're going to have to look at the rules in football a little bit with VAR if they're going to do it properly, just because there's so much grey areas, like penalties and stuff.
There's this, I don't know if it's come into play, but it's being implemented that players are no longer allowed to signal to go to VAR.
Yeah, I do think that's bad. I think I'm not a fan of people. I played a lot of futsal, and the amount of play, the thing that pisses me off the most is when a player will go up to a referee and go, yellow card symbol. He puts his hand up. I hate that, because it's like you shouldn't. It's the referee's job. The referee's given the foul. Now let him deal with it. You don't need to go up and go yellow card. I think that's disrespectful.
Also, you don't need to make the gesture. Like, he's standing like 2 feet away from you. Like,
yeah, no, I know. And I think, and the thing with the VAR, I think, it's kind of like a thing. It's like, I don't agree with you. It's like a disrespectful thing, isn't it? And I think again in rugby, I think they in football. I think they should. I think in rugby, it's nice because they call the referee sir. There's respect. If you don't, you're off. You're off if you don't respect.
Is it that only the captain can talk to the ref?
Only the captain can talk to the ref, and if you're not the captain and you do talk to the ref, you must address him by sir, and you must respect him as he is the guy.
I think you should,
and if you don't,
the captain should be allowed to talk to the ref and the players involved in the incident. That's my opinion. Because if you're...
I'm okay with that, because in rugby, players do talk to the ref who aren't involved in it. As in, they may say something to the ref, like, ref, this has happened, like, etc., etc. But they say it respectfully. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not as big on the sir thing, but the lack of respect...
I just think it's the respect. I think it's just the fact they've got guidelines, whereas in football, they have no guidelines, and pretty much anything goes. And I think the problem is, because they've allowed it to slip so far, it's quite hard to claw back.
Yeah.
But I do, like playing football, I played Saturday football for California, which is my local team, and they're playing OK division. The level of shit chatted by the players.
Calm down. The level of shit. The level of quality of football.
Yeah, honestly, you think it's like a Premier League game with some of the stuff that's going on. I just think it's honestly so it's just almost embarrassing a bit. Calm down.
Elements of embarrassment, yeah.
Genuinely, I don't know how you clean up, but I think they do have to calm it down a bit, with players. Just some of the stuff that's used. I just think if I'm a referee and someone comes and says something that's abusive towards me, I'd just send them off. Genuinely, if someone comes up to me and just tells me I'm fucking shit, I'm just like, you know what, mate, you can go sit down. Because I just don't think that there's any place for that in the game.
If someone comes over to you and says, you were wrong, there was shirt pulling there, then you kind of have to. It's different. If
you say it respectfully, I have no issue. Yourself. Yeah, if you say it respectfully and you say, look, I thought there was this, can you look out for it next time?
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing. If you say to a ref, I feel like he pulled my shirt there, fair enough. I'm not, if you say to a ref, he pulled my shirt, do you mind looking out for next time?
There are times when a corner is about to be taken and a player will signal to the ref, he's pulling my shirt, keep an eye on this. That's really good. But
whereas when they, what was it? It's when they just go to the ref and complain after the situation happens, after it's been awarded. You're never going to change the decision. That's pointless.
No.
You've got to look for the decision. You've got to look for it, the future, because that's the only thing you can do, if you get what I'm saying.
I think we need VAR.
I agree.
I'm a big fan.
No, VAR is 100% better for the game. I just think the implementing it and some of the rules need to be looked at, such as like penalties. If you just brush a player, there's contact. Therefore, the player falls down. Therefore, he's known. Like, let's be honest, most penalties are dives, whether there's contact or not, because the player is not going to be taken down by the amount of contact there is.
Well, Dwight Gale has earned a suspension for, I think the title of the charge is successful deception of a referee to win the last minute penalty against who West Brom playing? I want to say Forest.
Yeah.
I don't care about Forest as well. I hate them too. They're another club I hate.
Another list. But the thing that frustrates me
I really hate
as well
Forest.
is when referees give penalties for a player going down and not for when the same foul is committed and the player stays up. Because I feel like the player who stays up on his feet and is playing, let's say, fairly and he's trying to do something, isn't awarded a penalty. And for me, that's frustrating because I think you should be given the benefit probably more to the player who's trying to play within the rules rather than the one who's trying to deceive you.
But
do you see what I'm saying?
You also have the classic commentator trope of, well, if it's not in the area, that's a free kick.
Yeah.
That is a classic.
No, that's so true. Yeah.
It's right.
It is right. And I think referees also know that because they get afraid to give a penalty. It changes the game. And if they think it's not... If it's not goal scoring, it's not a penalty. That's my personal opinion. The most frustrating penalties for me when I see
maybe that's why Dax wasn't given because he was
the most frustrating one is when they're leaving the area when the guy is running away from the area and the guy's clipped him on the edge and he's gone down and he's given a penalty and I'm like, you're awarding a penalty, you're awarding the other team basically a goal in most instances for somebody going the wrong way. I just find it hard sometimes to deal with. I understand why. But is that not indirect free kick sometimes? I don't know. It's something I personally think it should be a goal scoring opportunity. But it's a funny one, isn't it?
It's a difficult one. I would need to know more about the rules of football.
I do think, though, this is what's great about football, is there's so much room for debate. And I do think something makes it so interesting because you can talk about so much.
Do you know what happens if a goalkeeper kicks the ball into his own net from his own goal kick?
I swear that's not allowed to be given because it's like something happened where the guy kicked it and didn't the wind blow one of these back? I feel like
I'm not sure, but like if he were to just turn around and kick the goal kick into his own goal, it becomes a corner. That's just a random bit of trivia that I have got about football rules.
That is the most random rule.
Yeah, I figured I'll flex that while I get the opportunity. Yeah, you don't get opportunities.
You don't get an opportunity to flex that very often. No, that's probably a rule that probably 80%, 95% of football fans do not know.
I wouldn't blame him for not knowing it though.
Where does that ever occurred?
If
that's ever occurred, please send it in.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But going back to Champions League then, we've got round of 16 at the moment. We'll just look at. We've got Barcelona, Lyon. I think that's one of the best. I think that's a
Atletico
really good game.
Juve. That'd be a good defensive game though. That'd be like a 1-0 win. But
Atletico Juve will be an absolute defensive.
Watch that be like a 4-3 now, and I'm completely wrong.
He's going to see an absolute high score.
Those are two teams that are known to be defensive powerhouses.
So 100%.
Therefore, expect it to be like maybe that'll go to penalties.
I would love to. There's nothing better than extra time in a 2-leg game. Will
Cristiano Penaldo bag another one? I don't know. I don't really care.
To be fair. But no, I think Champions League. I think with the Champions League, I love the Champions League.
I love the
Champions League. I think is one of the best competitions.
Watching the Champions League in the pub.
Yeah, best thing. And it's on, I love the fact that it's on like a Wednesday, Tuesday night after work, after school. It's like something to look forward to. But what do you think of Barcelona then this year with loss of name? And they've added Coutinho, Dembele. What do you think of Coutinho? That's my biggest question, to be honest with you.
Well, I would just like to say that if Atletico Madrid hadn't had such a horrible start to the season, and if Real Madrid hadn't also had such a horrible start to the season, then I do think their manager would have been under a lot more pressure. Obviously, they bottled going on their unbeaten season, losing 5-3 to what was it? Maybe it was Levante, maybe it was Eibar. It was a lesser team. But I'm not sure about the transfers because I don't know. Like Coutinho, I don't know who pulled the trigger on that transfer. I don't know if it was a managed transfer, or if it was like a behind the scenes transfer.
I think, to be honest with you, I think he kind of forced it quite a lot as well.
I wasn't a fan of the move.
Yeah, neither. You know what? This is like my theory on the whole thing. I think Coutinho is a quality player, and I think his dream was to play for Barcelona. Yeah. I think that's just something as a kid that he always dreamed of, and when he got offered that chance and he saw it potentially happening, I think he didn't want to say no to it, and he didn't want to turn that down.
Less the Coutinho transfer, because I think the Coutinho transfer is better than the Malcolm transfer.
Yeah,
I thought the Malcolm transfer was ridiculous.
Yeah,
he is literally just a worse Ousmane Dembele. Mm-hmm. What's the point? And obviously, I saw him linked with China. Like he essentially signed for Roma before Barcelona grabbed him right from their nose.
Yeah.
I hope he regrets that. I hope he knows that was, in my opinion, the wrong shit, because Roma development's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I think with Coutinho as well, I just like to say, like, genuinely, I think for his career, I read an article that Jurgen Klopp said, look, if you go to Barcelona, you'll be fine. You know, you're gonna win. You may win titles and stuff, but if you stay in Liverpool, you will be the main man, and you're gonna bring us home titles, Premier League, and he was like, they're gonna build statues of you because you will be the biggest. You will be so much like Mo Salah. That's what he would have been.
As a player, it would surely be more iconic to win the Premier League with Liverpool than to win the league.
He won the league with Barcelona last year, but let's be honest, they would have won it without him.
Yeah,
he did not make them win that league. I think as an athlete and a player, I think you want to be winning. There's different levels of winning. There's winning as like a player who's
there's winning League One.
There's nothing against players who like are bench players and play that role.
I was a bench player.
Because completely honest with you, Because completely honest with you, every team needs those, and those players are still performing at such a high level. But when you're on the level of Coutinho, where you're one of the he's going to arguably could be in the future one of the best.
He had a fantastic World Cup.
Yeah, he won the best players in the world. I thought he was better than Neymar in the World Cup. I'd just like to say that.
I would like to agree with you on that.
And I'd also like to say, can we please kick Neymar free kicks, put Coutinho on them because he does a better job.
Ooh, not sure about that.
I felt Coutinho has a better free kick than Neymar. It frustrated me when I saw Neymar. I just felt that Neymar was so high up ego in that team that he kind of bossed everyone around. And I felt that Coutinho didn't get the deserved respect he should have done.
I'd have to look into like the actual stats.
You'd have to look out into that one, but that's a person. Yeah, that was a. I would just like to see him take a few at least. Because I felt like they're very similar. I felt like Neymar is good at free kicks, but I felt like Coutinho offers something as well. Especially
the same foot. Because Coutinho can play... Neymar predominantly plays on the left. Coutinho can really play anywhere along the front line.
Coutinho's left. Is left?
I don't really know.
I don't even know.
He's been getting a bit of stick from Barcelona fans. Because it's difficult, because in that front three,
he kind of similar to Messi.
Barcelona
he really
has this obsession with they have to play a 4-3-3, and like you can see
love
that on social media.
4-3-3.
But in that front three, you've got Suarez and then Messi and Ousmane Dembele plays on the left. Ousmane Dembele is one of my favourite players to watch.
So fast, honestly.
So fast. Holds the ball so well.
Which
means that Coutinho would have to play in the midfield three.
Players,
So he's been playing... But then you've got... Sergio Busquets is pretty much essentially guaranteed to get in. And when he's not, they'll bring in someone like Vidal as defensive guy. Yeah. And then you've got Arthur, Rakitic. They don't have Denis Suarez anymore.
I think Coutinho has to play either a wing position like he does for Brazil.
Yeah.
Or he kind of plays that cam position. The problem is they don't have that. And the problem I also have is when I watch, he kind of finds those pockets of space that Messi likes to find.
Exactly. He drifts inward a lot.
The problem with that is, as great as a player he is, and he's effective at being like Messi is, he's just not as good as Messi, and he never will be.
Perhaps.
So the problem is, it's hard because when you come with a player like Messi and you have that kind of friction where they're kind of going in similar areas. Everyone knows that Messi's going to be the one who's going to get the go-ahead there.
Perhaps they operate a 4-3-3 with Coutinho on the left, Ousmane Dembele on the right, Suarez at 9, and then play Messi as a 10.
As like a number 10,
Possibly. Or you could just operate Messi as an out-and-out 9, because Suarez might need to get... Obviously, they've got Kevin Prince Boateng now.
Oh, yes.
So the problem is solved. But
I just think,
they have a lot of players that can play in multiple positions.
I'm frustrated for him, and I feel... Because I just feel like... He stays at Liverpool. Honestly, I genuinely believe this. Champions League strengthens their campaign. I believe. I believe completely honestly, fully believe, if Salah hadn't have gone off, I actually think Liverpool would have won.
Well, obviously without goalkeeping errors as well.
Take those out.
Without them, it's 1-1.
Yeah, and I genuinely thought the Liverpool team. But do you know? I think that was because of concussion. I think that's partly down to concussion. I do kind of partly believe that, but I think the jury's always going to be out on that one, innit?
Yeah, you can never prove that one either way.
Yeah. They have done tests though. They've done tests though on him, and they said that he was concussed after the game.
When were those tests taken?
few weeks after. And
yeah, you can't do that.
But if you've got some kind of concussion and he's found
he should have been
subbed where the hell else is he going to get that concussion from? If since that game,
no, you could see the point where he allegedly got a concussion. But he shouldn't.
He shouldn't have played on if he did though, because you should be smart enough to go, look, I'm not right here. But what I would say is back to the game.
I think he kept the most clean sheets in the Champions League that campaign.
Karius.
Yeah.
Wow. His confidence is shocked though now, and he's having a real hard time because of it.
I've seen some nightmare highlights of him at Besiktas.
But the thing is, it's a confidence thing. Yeah. Now I think it's a mental game, and I do wish the kid the best. Like I want to see him back.
Yeah. James Milner, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Broke the record for most assists in a single.
James Milner is he's resurrected his, because he kind of was starting to. But
might have been helped by Paul Scholes before. Or
honestly, the work rate he puts in as well, the amount of miles he covers. Like they were saying they were drug testing him after one of the Champions League games because he'd run the most miles on the pitch, and UEFA could not believe he'd run the most miles on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I think if Coutinho stays at Liverpool, they have a very good chance to win that Champions League final. A very good chance, even better than they already did. Because Salah goes off, they've lost their talisman, but Coutinho's there, and he's still a massive. They wouldn't. I don't think they would have gone downhill so much, maybe. No. So I think there's arguably Champions League title, and if not, still a run that any player would be proud of.
Yeah.
And then this year, Premier League, they're pretty much joint Man City, and you add Coutinho, that only strengthens that team. And I genuinely think whatever happens with the Premier League, for this season,
very good title race.
Very good title race.
Very entertaining for someone who doesn't follow either team.
Agreed. I think with Coutinho, I think that gives him an even better chance. And I mean, we are seriously looking at the potential of a Champions League and a Premier League for him.
Who do you think is going to win the league?
I think it depends on how well both Man City and Liverpool do in the Champions League to an extent.
I think that's a very valid argument.
Because I think you look at, I think Liverpool have this tendency to give cheap points away. It's something they do.
Really ironed they've
ironed it out a lot better this season, but they still have that. Whereas Man City are a lot more clinical. And I don't.
6-0 v Chelsea was disgusting. I'm so sorry. I watched that game and I was like, bro.
Mate, I had a game at the time, so I wasn't watching it. But I remember after the game, someone goes, "Oi, do you know it's 4-0 at half time?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And then he goes, "Aguero missed an open goal," and I'm like, "Well."
Raheem Sterling, England's best player.
Raheem Sterling is in that game. Yeah, he's improved. Imagine if he stayed at Liverpool.
I would have said Harry Kane is England's best player, but he has not recovered from that injury. He was taking 6 shots per game before that injury. I think he's on about 3.5 now. He's not fully bounced. Once he bounces back to those levels, I believe he overtakes Raheem. But at the moment, Raheem is England's best player.
Okay, yeah.
I have an England football related question for you.
Go for it.
Lampard, Gerrard, or Scholes?
Oh, mate.
It's a big one.
I think
you're gonna get stick no matter who you pick.
I know, yeah.
That's why I have the best answer.
What is it?
Roy Keane.
Love it.
He's better than all 3 of them. I don't care what anyone says.
I now understand. I feel like I need to be a politician now and try and dodge this question. Try and wiggle my way out of it any way I can.
It's a tough question.
It is a tough one because I look at Lampard and Gerrard who played together. But
Scholes was playing on the left wing.
And I think
spent more of his
you look at what they did as a team. But that was the golden generation. They had so many good players and they didn't really.
But they didn't have Eric Dyer scoring pens. I shaved my head when he did that to honour him. So,
mate, quality this guy. England. But I would like to avoid that question and say Eric Dyer is my.
No,
but
Roy Keane's better than all of them. Roy Keane's best.
I'm a big fan of Gerrard, I have to say, and the way he's he'd been at Liverpool for so long and what he did with them.
If you could sign one of them, who would you pick? Because I think that's different than saying who's the best. Because it's like
I think you look at it's like looking at Messi with Argentina. I personally don't rate the Argentinian players around him. That I don't think they've delivered for him as they should have done. That's personal belief, and I think so. Therefore, you have to judge a player on their ability, not the team they're in. Because a team can always make a player look better and vice versa, make a player look worse. And I think that's the problem. And it also comes down to management. So was the England management good or bad?
Sven, first ever foreign manager to manage England? I believe.
And then they went on a bit of a run with Capello and
missed Euro 2008. David Dunn played in the qualifier for Euro 2008. Yes!
I love it. You bring out all the obscure names.
I've met David Dunn. Fantastic bloke. Blackburn through and through. Great guy. Just generally great guy. Francis Jeffers, Fox in the box, one appearance, 1 goal.
Yeah.
Was it him that... Oh, I don't know if it was him. Somebody in their one England appearance just tapped in someone's It might have been Jermaine Defoe's original shot,
No.
and it's like going in and someone just goes and taps it in, and it's like, would you do that in your one appearance for England? Would you say you scored a goal? Would you?
I can't lie. Let's be honest. If you want to go for England, you're not going to turn that down, are you?
It depends who you're taking it from.
Yeah, it depends. Doesn't it?
If you're taking it from Rooney, and it's like,
oh man, I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
But if it's the one to break the record,
Ooh, that's going to be
then
no.
you can't
Okay,
do it.
I'll take any Rooney goal other than the one to break the record because I don't want to be that guy. But no, like no, yeah, that's crazy. Like, what was I going to say? Yeah, you were saying you had something about Vardy. Vardy did a Drogba.
You told me I'd have brought my stats with me.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Is there any stats you want me to look up? I can look something up for you.
No, because I had to crunch the numbers. Let me see if I've got them on my phone.
Right.
But I'll talk. I believe this is going to get me
when
a
you
lot.
told me this, I was like, whoa. Whew.
I believe that Jamie Vardy is a better striker in the Premier League than Didier Drogba. Right? I'll fight.
I have huge respect for Vardy. What he's been through with Leicester through the years. This man.
Do you know what? Maybe that kind of thing does impact my
this man has been there, like what he's done with them, bringing them from League 2, was it League 1 or 2?
Well, he wasn't. No, he was a lot lower.
Yeah, no, he's come from non-league. Yeah. When he joined them, they were still low, and he's gone up with them, making it all the way to playing for England in the World Cup. But I think that is a story. That's going to be a film, do you reckon? Can you see a film we made on that?
There was the rumour that he was getting filmed.
I honestly would watch that. I would want to see that.
So these are some stats that I've got. These are old stats. These are no longer going to be correct.
Okay.
But at time that these stats were acquired, which was probably around Christmas, Drogba I think had 104 goals in 254 Premier League appearances, which is
how many? Sorry?
104 in 254.
Okay, yeah.
This is just Premier League only.
Yeah.
And Vardy had 65 in 152. So
what's the percentage then? Is that?
I don't have those.
It's close.
That's close.
He's a bit better though, I think, in percentage. Though I think conversion wise.
Yeah. If you want shot conversion, Drogba is on about 35%, and Vardy's on about 48%. So you could argue Vardy's a more clinical.
I think I want to see Vardy for similar amount of games though, because you want to have that kind of larger sample size.
Well, so Drogba's got 2 golden boots and 4 titles.
Yeah.
Okay. Vardy has a second golden boot. A second place in the golden boot. He's never won the golden boot. He's got the 1 title,
and he holds the record for the most consecutive. Oh no, he got beat. Did he get beaten?
No, he hasn't. No, he's scored the most consecutive.
He still holds that one.
He's also won a goal of the month. He's the only player to hold consecutive Premier League Player of the Month awards.
Yeah, that's I mean that season.
And he won Premier League. He won a Player of the Season award for the league. They won the league. Yeah. The year. I
think that run he went on, we saw consecutive goals, was a massive. That kind of kick-started. I feel like.
What's interesting is that Drogba's got 2 golden boots and Vardy's got 1 second place finish, but both players have scored 20+ league goals in a season twice. So they've done that the same amount of times. So Drogba won the golden boot with 20 goals in 06-07. That's really low.
It varies year to year. So it's kind of one of those ones that it's kind of hard to. You can't criticise him for it,
but
though, because
he won it. He won it with 29 in 09-10, which is
how much? I
swear,
phenomenal. Wasn't it Kane who got it the year that Vardy came second?
I think it might be.
Because Tottenham had a very good season.
20 is the third lowest golden boot winning total in Premier League history. When Vardy has scored 20+ league goals, the golden boot was won with 25 by Harry Kane. And Vardy finished joint second on 24.
Yeah.
And in 17-18, when he was 4th, it was won by Mo Salah with 32.
Oh, man, that
you'd argue... my argument would be...
What can he do?
Okay. According to the official Premier League website, Drogba had a goals per game of 0.41. Yep. Vardy currently sitting on 0.43.
So it's very close then, yeah. And I think...
But the thing is...
And Vardy he's delivered. I think he really has.
Yeah, against the top 6, Drogba gets 0.58 goals per game, and Vardy gets 0.82.
0.58.
And you would argue that when Drogba was playing, it was a top 4, because Manchester City and Tottenham were not at the level that they are that Vardy's playing against them.
Do you know
Drogba got 0.95 goal contributions per game against top 6, and Vardy got...
Say that again, sorry, how many?
0.95. Sorry, I don't know if I said that. And Vardy's on 1.1.
Jeez. And I think that is a really underrated stat as well, because I think look at Lukaku.
Yeah,
I don't think he delivers in big games at all. But then you look at, I think players that deliver in big games those are the players who are the most valuable players.
Some of those stats may no longer be correct, and
players who deliver,
not having updated them. But I also think that Vardy is playing in a much inferior team.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think there is the argument to be made.
We're going to do a live poll now on my Instagram.
I'll get ripped for saying it, but
I would like to say that we're going to be doing this throughout the podcast. When we're podcasting, I'm going to put polls up. So make sure you go follow my Instagram. It's Sam Nalletamby. Link will be in descriptions. Because we'll put a lot of polls on, so you guys can interact with the podcast as we're shooting it.
I think there is an argument. I think there is an argument to be made that you could. That Jamie Vardy has been a better striker in the Premier League than Didier Drogba. I will get hammered for that. I've got no problem getting hammered.
Do you know what though? I think a statement like that is a statement that you'd look at face value as.
You would joke that off.
You'd be like, what the hell, man? But I think statements like that are made in all areas of like different subjects. And a lot of the time, you just piss it off. But I actually think sometimes when there's facts behind it, you look into it properly, they're very good. It's a very good statement.
How many goals does Jamie Vardy have in the league this season? I don't know.
Search it up.
But the thing is, if he gets more than that, if he gets more than 20 this season, then he has got 20 goals a season more times than Drogba.
Yeah.
Like, I think he really shouldn't. I think you should really consider that argument. And like, if you think about it and then you decide it's not for you, he's on 8 at the moment. Okay, so he's got to get 12 more. He's not going to do that this season. That's not going to happen. I would be blown away if he managed to get over 20 this season. But Vardy also. The argument is that he's picked up more individual accolades and he's performed. I think it's undisputable that when Drogba was playing, the league was slightly inferior in terms of depth.
I think it's way better than it was then. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
what was it, 0.3 and.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
What was that goal? Was that goal conversion?
0.3. I can't remember.
Don't worry. Yeah.
But I think that Vardy has performed to a very similar level to Drogba.
Yeah.
With a very inferior team as a whole in a more competitive league. I think like the teams that would have got relegated in the season that Drogba played well versus the teams that would have got relegated in the season that
the Premier League is amazingly continuing to get stronger and stronger, and it outdoes itself almost year on year. I think that's actually quite a feat from the Premier League.
Yeah. If anyone wants to hammer me for that opinion, fair enough. I don't mind. I understand it's a very controversial opinion.
Oh yeah, and I think especially when you look at Drogba's career, I mean, it's been incredible.
Well, he's a fraud, but
that Champions League goal, that will be. Yeah.
I will admit I am.
That penalty to win that Champions League, that was.
I will admit I am slightly anti-Drogba, but
that's fair enough, though. My
opinion is not as good as the facts that I presented.
The opinion is valid because your facts you've put there do have an argument for it. I think we've got to wait longer and we've got to see how Vardy's career goes.
Don't come after me saying.
And I think it's good because they both actually, because Drogba I know started his career kind of late-ish, a lot later than the average footballer he made.
Well, so did Vardy.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. Because kind of you have that kind of similarity to an extent.
Don't come after me saying I'm biased. I'm putting out the numbers.
You're putting out a point and you've backed up by numbers.
It's a fact that Vardy has more individual accolades.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I agree with that, yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to look a right moron.
Yeah, agree with that. Right. So, football. I think we've covered that.
Covered it enough for this time.
Yeah, we're gonna move on now to looking at some like kind of, is it conspiracy stuff or what was it? Is your show the 50s?
It's not conspiracy theories necessarily, but it certainly make you think.
Yeah. Go on. Give me
that's a great one for you.
Give me a feel for it.
So I introduced you to this show, and if I was gonna introduce it to the masses, people must have heard of the Twilight Zone. It's fantastic. It's created by Rod Serling. I think it ran from 59 to 64, maybe.
I can't lie to you, until you told me about it, I'd not actually heard of it.
No, so if I was going to compare it to a modern show, it's effectively a Cold War Black Mirror.
Yeah, okay.
It's in black and white. It's I think some seasons had half-hour episodes, some seasons were an hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
And it's just these little isolated adventures, and it's a fantastic TV show. If you, I think a lot of the episodes will be available places if you can find them.
Yeah, go on the internet.
I am a huge fan of them. My favourite episode is called "Will the Real White Martian Please Stand Up?" Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the inspiration for the Eminem track.
Yeah.
But I always wonder that when I hear it. And that, to give you the summary of that episode, there's a bus transporting this group of like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
And it pulls into like a roadside diner because the bridge is snowed out and they can't go over this bridge. And, they go in there, and one extra person comes in and got on the bus, and it's like, well, who's this person? Because everyone claims to be from the bus.
Yeah.
And they're trying to identify who this odd one out is.
Yeah.
And there's like an old dude, there's like a model, and the only person that the bus driver knows got on the bus was the model, because he's like to the bartender.
Yeah.
He's like, trust me, I remember her.
And
then they can't work out. And there's like reports of a crashed spaceship.
Oh, okay.
These like, local police have called in.
Yeah.
And so they know that they have these fears that one of these people is this alien.
Yeah.
And it has a fantastic ending that I'm not going to spoil, but it's really interesting to give that. It kind of plays on the insecurity of the time about the Red Scare of communism. That's just one episode. So there's another episode that really stands out to me. This is the only other episode that I'll go into quickly. It's called Eye of the Beholder, and I'll talk about this one because it's one of the most famous episodes.
Yeah. Is that the one with the eye here?
No,
it's fine. No, it's fine.
So there's this really beautiful. She's this woman, and she's played by like a model. So she's like, at the time, she's like the pinnacle of beauty in American society. Yeah, and
like 50s kind of style. Yeah.
And she's in this hospital to get like reconstruction on her face.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because she's like, she's got something wrong. She's like going on. I don't know if you know it's on her face, but she's got to have this surgery. And if the surgery's not a success, she has to live in like the wastelands. Ooh. And you never see anyone else's face, okay? You only ever see this one beautiful woman. She's portrayed to be beautiful. You only ever see this one beautiful woman. And she keeps having surgery, and she keeps coming out looking exactly the same, and they're like, oh, it's not a success, you know, you're a monster. You don't belong in a society, you have to go and live with these freaks. And she runs away, she tries to escape, and she can't. And she gets cornered, and it pans to all these doctors. And all these doctors have horribly deformed, like, pig faces. The whole idea is that... beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it really makes you think, because you haven't seen anyone's face apart from this beautiful woman, and they look at her like she is
ugly,
like she needs surgery to fit in with society. And she comes and gets collected by this other, what we would consider a normal looking person, and taken to live in the outside of society, because she doesn't conform with their views of having this, like, what we would consider horribly deformed face. And the whole point of the episode is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it reflects society's views. And Rod Serling, who created it, was an absolute genius. Like, that's one episode.
Do you know what? I think hearing that, I've not seen it, that is such a great portrayal of something in society that I think people get so caught up in, you know, like how we look and, you know, people's differences. And I think the fact that he's managed to portray that in the 1950s so well,
it's really good.
That's incredible, right?
It's not aged fantastically.
Yeah,
in terms of production values, it's not like.
Do you know what?
It's not like the Looney Tunes where it's aged and it got racist.
This is what I will say though. As someone who like creates films, short stories and stuff, I think the most important thing is substance in the story.
Yeah.
Video production, that makes a movie look great. But if there's no story and there's no substance and there's no real meaning and hard hitting behind the story, behind the film, it would never be good, you know.
Yeah. So if I was going to recommend, it's had some really famous people in it. It's had Burgess Meredith, who played the Penguin in the 1960s Batman. Had William Shatner was in like 3 different episodes. Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
If I was going to recommend some episodes, I would say Eye of the Beholder, obviously. Will the Real White Martian Please Stand Up?
Yeah.
5 Characters in Search of an Exit is really good. Yeah. I think that was adapted from an old play, which was like 6 family members in search of something. That's really good. Nightmare at 30,000 Feet.
Oh, I've heard of this. Actually, we haven't heard of that.
People would probably
How do I recognize?
Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
Or you just said something.
It's William Shatner's on a plane, and he looks out and he sees the gremlin on the plane.
Yes, on the wing.
Yeah, on the wing.
I saw this earlier.
Now, a lot of Twilight Zone episodes you probably would recognise from Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. So they did that one where
kind of takes on it.
Bart is on the school bus and he sees the gremlin on the side of the school bus.
Yeah.
The episode of Treehouse of Horror where Maggie goes into like the 3D dimension. That's a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Those are some really good episodes. There are any more? All the Time in the World is I think that's what it's called. It's really good.
Yeah.
If you look up Talkie Tina, the character, this doll that comes to life, it's like basically the Chucky franchise. But it's really good to see the innovation that this show operates on.
Yeah, no.
I can't recommend it enough.
I think it's brilliant. Like they're targeting different things, and
I'm surprised it doesn't have
more
a bigger cult following now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because you look at like, you know, films and TV shows from back in the day, and people are always like raving about it and saying, "Oh, you know, I love that," and there's big fans of the shows. Maybe it's because it's like so old. Maybe I don't know. 1950s. I'm not gonna lie to you.
White. If you're into
1950s is really old. Like,
but I grew up. I used to really like Sergeant Bilko, which is from the same era, Phil Silver's show. It was remade.
How did you get into this?
So my dad's a huge fan of Sergeant Bilko.
Yeah.
It was remade with the dad from Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
And Pink Panther. Is it Steve Harvey? Is that his name? I can't remember.
Really bad.
The remake was horrible. The remake was garbage. The Munsters as well. Have you seen The Munsters? That's fantastic. That's had plenty of modern day remakes. And so that kind of era of old show, my dad was really into, because he used to watch Sergeant Bilko with his dad. And then I was like, oh, this era of TV is cool, because everything was at that point more original.
I think that's so cool that it's passed on through the generations.
Yeah.
I think that's something. I think with the way technology's going, I think when people spend less time as a family, I think it's really great that like your dad's dad watched something with your dad, and now your dad's watching with you, and maybe one day in the future you'll do the same. Like, I think that's so
my
cool.
dad didn't watch Twilight Zone, but I checked that one out from like my own.
You kind of got
my own interest
in
from his interests, and like, you've got like stuff like I Love Lucy is good as well. But if you thought Get Out was a good movie, which it was, if you like Black Mirror, then you should check out the OG. You should check out the Twilight Zone. I'm sure you could find it online. If not, you should definitely try and seek out. Even if you just read the plot summaries of episodes on Wikipedia, you're still going to be like, you're missing out on the experience. But you're still like, damn. Actually, the only reference to Twilight Zone that I can think of modern times, if you go to Disneyland, or Disney World, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride, that the big drop.
The drop, yeah.
That is thematically set in. That whole ride is designed to be an episode of the Twilight Zone.
What?
When the people go to the hotel and disappear. No, but when I went, I took loads of pictures inside. Like, that's from that episode.
You were like fanboy.
That razor blade goes down the stairs and cuts a man's thigh. Oh, that's.
You must have been in your element.
Easter eggs everywhere. I was loving it. Suck at Marvel movies. Twilight Zone's where it's at.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. No, honestly. Talking of back in kind of like 1950s, and you mentioned The Simpsons. Bit of a conspiracy for you.
Go on.
So I know you're always interested in love a conspiracy.
I do. My favourite one at the moment is that Donald Trump's a time traveller. Pass it on.
We'll come to that.
We'll come to that.
I can't not ignore hearing this.
Yeah. Have you not seen that one?
I haven't. Where was it on?
I'll send you a link to it.
Send me a link to it.
I'll send you a link to it, and then you can review it with someone else.
And then, in fact, you know what? This will be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Interestingly, it's funny you say that, because I was going to go on to the time travel thing.
Go on.
So, The Simpsons, how have they managed to predict so much successfully? This is genuinely, I wonder.
Thing is, when you put out so much stuff,
true.
Some of it's bound to stick.
Oh, I agree with that.
If you give a monkey a typewriter, it will eventually put out the works of Shakespeare. What I will say is that like shot for shot accuracy they've been very impressive with. So they had the one of Donald Trump coming down the escalator in Trump Tower. And it's like, fair enough, obviously he's going to be in his own building, but they still did well to replicate it.
Yeah, and the fact I suppose the president thing, you can say that's just a long shot. Lucky. But didn't he have the same slogan on the hat, I believe? I
doubt it. Surely not. Can't have done. Maybe.
Let me see a picture, because if he did, I'll tell you what.
The idea of this impending threat of corporations taking over government isn't new. That wasn't created by The Simpsons. So they could have literally just gone, oh, let's pick a businessman and let's do that. So like, it's Jeanette Winterson explored it in The Stone Gods, which I had through to my course, which was quite interesting, with the whole more life system. But the idea of business influencing politics was not created by The Simpsons, but they put an interesting spin on it that just so happened to end up being correct. And you could put that down to like, maybe they did that with other business people, and we just haven't seen that, because they
I suppose some of them they could kind of
31 and 32.
Do you know what gets me though is the Shard as well.
What about the Shard?
They've got an image. Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my god! What? They've got an image of the Shard in 2001.
Have you been up the Shard?
I've never been up the Shard. No,
I've been up the Shard.
Is it nice?
It depends on the weather, obviously. The view.
Yeah, the views are meant to be amazing.
I can categorically.
Tallest building in
England, certainly.
Yeah, no, in Europe, I was going to say, was it?
Yeah, it's not worth the money. It's stupidly expensive.
Look at this. Well, I'll plug a picture in here now. So, as you can see, we've got Big Ben here.
I believe it when Big Ben. So, Big Ben, for the people who can't see, Big Ben here is a digital clock.
Yeah.
And in the background, there is a pointy building.
But,
right?
Hold on. But why do you put this building in when it's not part of the skyline at the time? That's my question. Like, it's a
but they
you
also
don't put a building.
They haven't put the Houses of Parliament in there when they are part of the skyline. Like,
but it's the House.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Like,
I mean, that's not obviously. I don't know. I just question that.
Sometimes I'm not going to buy that one. But
I probably should have come with more. bit more kind of what's the word?
But there are plenty of those instances.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of them, to be honest with you. And it's interesting because it's not like it's just one or two. It is a few that's kind of made me think, whoa, like what's going on there? The other one is, do you know what Nelson Mandela effect is?
I do.
Mandela effect.
That's the one where you think things happened but they didn't, or
it's like the one where they suggest that someone's altered the timeline, and then you've been part of that. People claim
that the line was "Luke, I am your father," when it was like "No, I am your father." I don't know what the actual line was. Don't crucify me, Star Wars nerds.
I think for me it's interesting because I have such an interesting opinion on it, because I think on the one hand I completely agree, and I think that I remember it differently. But then I also think I know memory is very bad. It's very inconsistent. You can remember things very differently to they were, if you see what I'm saying.
When we remember, we only get a version of the last time we remembered it. That's a quote from Trophy Eyes.
That's
shout out, big fan.
But it's so true, isn't it?
I'm a huge fan. I wear the merch.
It's so true though, because people's memories are so over years you remember the memory more than you remember what actually happened. So your memory can change over a period of time. And then someone goes to you, C-3PO's all gold, and you go, yeah, C-3PO's all gold, and then they go, no, he's got a silver leg, and you're like, what?
But what's interesting is when you experience this without knowing it's a thing, and then you...
do you know what? I'm going to give you one right now.
So, yeah, I've got one myself, but you go first.
You may have this one, but if you don't, I like to see it. Looney Tunes and Looney Tunes.
It's tunes because it's cartoons.
Mandela effect confirmed.
What the fuck?
It's tunes.
What?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point that everyone makes. Looney Tunes because it's cartoons.
Why is it called
Looney Tunes? I don't know.
Where is the musical element? They barely even speak.
But it's always been Looney Tunes, apparently, according to it. Look, I'll show you right now. There you go. I'm gonna reveal this. We'll put it on the podcast in the video.
See, that does look right. That's the thing. When you show it to me, if you just showed me them and said which one is real, I would have pointed to tunes. But they are cartoons.
It's weird because the logic points to the tunes, but maybe just people thought that, and that's never how it's been. I don't know.
Also, the 00, like in Looney, would have gone with the tunes. But that's just English preference. So like on a personal level,
I don't know.
I went on holiday once.
Yeah.
It was only in the last summer, right? And I woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because my big toe was hanging out. My foot was hanging out.
My big toe.
My foot was hanging out the end of the bed.
Yeah.
And because it was Spain. It was the middle of summer. It was crack-a-lacking hot.
People in England can't deal with hot weather.
No, we can't.
We're awful.
That's why we voted to leave the EU. We're getting rid of their weather.
We can't deal with hot weather, cold weather, or any weather. It's like too hot, too cold, too rainy, too snowy, too anything.
I won't finish that joke.
No, yeah.
But I was on holiday and I was asleep and I woke up and it was I remember the time. It was 3:41.
Yeah. Damn.
No, wait, no, it wasn't. That's pi.
That's absolute bullshit.
Yeah. It was about 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Okay.
I'm not going to pretend I remember the exact time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I woke up because my foot was hanging out the end of the bed, and obviously my big toe's on my foot. Spoiler alert. I felt someone distinctly like reach out, put a finger on top of it, and like a thumb underneath it, and pinch. And so much so that I sat up because Beth was sleeping on the sofa bed at the end of the bed. Me and Nicole were sleeping in the bed. Yeah. Beth was sleeping on the sofa bed, and I sat up and I went, Beth, what the fuck are you doing?
Thinking. And
she sat up and she was like, what are you on about? And I was like, someone just pinched my toe. And she was like, no, they didn't. So I was so convinced that it had happened that I got up and I looked under the bed. I looked around the room. The door was locked. There's no one in the bathroom. But it's odd that you can feel so strongly about something that it happened. And she's like, what are you on about? But it was enough for me to go, it was enough for me to get out of bed. And that's impressive.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Do you know what, though? It's one of those things that, like, could it be blood flow? Because I a lot of the time I wake up and I've slept and I've cut the blood off my arm or something. My arm just feels weird.
No, but like, you try and rationalise it.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a distinct, like, one little, like, pinch. Like, so what I assumed was maybe I rolled over in the sheet, like, I got caught in the sheet, but like but then I was like, no, my foot was in the open air. I can't have got my toe caught in the sheet. I have no explanation for what happened. I can understand Beth saying she didn't randomly pinch my foot. Why would she want to do that? And obviously Nicole was like,
we need to get her on. Like,
I don't think she'd appreciate that. And obviously Nicole was on the other side of the bed. Like, she was nowhere near. And I have.
Do you know what you were saying this to me? You like things where people can't explain it.
I would rather have a personal story that you can't explain than a standard.
But then the only thing I have a problem with that is you're taking their word for it. And then you get a lot of people who may just say stuff to get,
I understand. And there's other people's that I listen to, and I think I doubt that. But like, I don't have an explanation for that. Like,
the thing is, you have no reason to lie as well, is what I would say.
no, in fact,
you have no reason
why
to
would
make
I lie
this
about
up.
something so small scale either?
Exactly.
Like, I'm adamant someone pinched my toe, and if you put me on a lie detector test and say, "Did someone pinch your toe?" I'll go, "Yeah."
No, you believe it with
And I
your
will
whole
pass.
body, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like you have no proof whether that happened or not, or how it happened.
I've got no idea why anyone would pinch my toe.
Yeah, you're
But-
like, is my toe pinchable?
Can
I see your toe maybe? Maybe I need to see if your toe's a pinchable toe.
No, they're probably blue at the moment. It's
yeah,
very
it is
cold.
very, we are in a garage,
But like,
and
I well
I'm
and
not gonna lie, I'm
truly,
cold.
I well and truly believe that my toe was pinched.
It's crazy.
And I can't explain it.
You can say it with this Mandela effect. People well and truly believe.
Exactly, that was what the link was.
They think something's... So, to be honest with you, when I found out C-3PO's leg was silver, did you know that?
What?
Yeah, okay, so this is me, like, a little bit ago.
Give me more.
Give me more, okay? I'm going to show you pictures, okay?
Alright.
And I'm going to tell you which one...
I'm probably going to get 0% on these, but...
Are you a big Star Wars, you've watched... Not a big Star Wars...
I'm not a big fan. I've seen all the
series.
films.
Yeah.
I saw
watched
the
all the
newest
old
one
ones, yeah.
of the main series on the cinema. What was the point in that casino scene? Thanks for wasting 40 minutes of my time.
Which one was this? Sorry.
The newest one, the second one in the new trilogy. You know the casino
There's
scene?
has anyone seen that Han Solo movie? I felt that was the most...
I thought that got cancelled.
That was the biggest hit and miss. I don't even know.
No, it bombed, I think.
Did it go or no?
Solo. I think
Yeah.
it bombed.
I don't even know if I've
Rogue One was
great. I enjoyed Rogue One.
I wasn't
personally.
a big enough
personally
fan of
enjoyed
Star
it.
Wars to like it.
Yeah,
But I
I
was
get
like,
what you're
fair
saying.
enough.
I
I was
liked
like,
it
fair
because it was
enough.
like a middle story.
Yeah,
And
I liked the ending when Darth walks in the...
I really liked the characters. Like,
Fair enough.
I personally just really enjoyed how the story started. I just really got with the characters. I think...
Is it,
Yeah.
what's the name of the woman who plays the main character? Oh, that's not
She is...
because she was in
she's in a lot of films,
She was in
yeah.
Inferno, and I really liked her in Inferno. Inferno, great film, by the way. Shout out.
Yeah, here we go.
Give me some more of the Mandela effect, because
Yeah, going back to that. So...
confused.
there it is. There's a picture of it in the movie, I think.
he's got the red arm at one point, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, I do remember that, to be fair. Okay, so here we go. Here's a film. Here's a picture of the on set back in the 19. So as you can see,
he's got that leg is silver.
that leg is silver. Now I
For people who can't see this, it's his...
I'll put a picture up if you're on Facebook. But yeah, so his left leg from the knee to the foot is all silver, and the rest of him is gold. Now in the desert, I can kind of see how I've missed that because it's a lot of yellowness and it reflectively, so it could look yellow.
But in that one, it's his right leg. But then in that one, it's his left leg.
I think that's a picture. No, you got to look at these ones.
In
These are
that
the
one,
ones
it's
in
his
here.
right leg.
The thing is, if you go watch, I think you need to watch
So
the film.
I'm just gonna...
But now I've seen this picture, and
Am I going to assume that's where footage has just been mirrored?
Yeah, and then I look on Lego Star Wars
Shout out
characters.
Lego Star Wars, relax,
Lego
wasn't
Star Wars childhood
The complete saga
game.
was a
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. But in the game, he's obviously all gold. We don't see any Lego.
No, because they didn't do dual printing on the legs there. I'm a big fan of Lego, and I know they wouldn't have done dual printing on the legs back then.
There we go. Right here, you heard it here. So here, it's... What's this picture? It's saying silver... We probably need to someone needs to watch the film, you know what I mean? And get like actual...
Yeah.
Because I have the films, so I could actually just go and watch
Look up
that.
examples of the Mandela effect and quiz me on them, because...
Yeah, a lot of them are quite American, so we probably wouldn't know as many of them. Like...
the one that springs to mind for me is the Star Wars "I Am Your Father."
That one as well.
I didn't even know what the original.
What does he
phrase
say
is.
again?
He says, like, everyone says that he says, "Luke, I am your father."
That's what I thought, to be fair. But I
But he says something like, "No, I am your father."
yeah, but I can hold my
That's
hand
so
up.
close.
I can hold my hand up and say, when you watch that film, you just jump to that, innit? It's just natural.
It's one of the most iconic moments.
And it's just one, like, change of a word. Like, you could easily... I don't know.
But the thing is, if you just randomly said to someone, "No, I am your father," as opposed to if you randomly said to someone, "Luke, I am your father," the word Luke grounds it much more in the Star Wars universe.
You'd think they'd use that, wouldn't you?
It makes it a much more clear reference if you say Luke. But apparently
It's one of those ones where I'm remembering it right now and I'm thinking about it, but I just think, you know
So
what,
obviously,
mate?
it comes,
The more I
the
think
name-
about it, the more I can't remember.
The name comes from when Mandela died. A lot
Yeah.
of people thought he was already dead.
Yes, this is the
Okay.
one, yeah.
Now, the only other experience I have of this is that I regularly do a pub quiz. I don't anymore because I'm away at university. But I used to regularly attend a pub quiz, and one of the questions was, how old was Pele when he died? And I was like, bollocks, Pele's still alive.
Innit? Yeah, what?
Now, here's a fun fact for you. Pele is still alive.
Thank
And the-
God. I thought you were going to reveal to me that Pele was dead,
the
and I was
quiz
going to have a moment.
The quiz was wrong, and people were putting like 76 and like
Jesus.
72, and I was like, I put the answer as he's still alive, and I made them check because I followed him on Instagram at the
Yeah,
time. I'm following him now because he's a fraud. But I can't remember. But I knew he was still alive.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to
like-
say, 'cause I've seen him on interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
and yeah.
But
I just want to met him, actually.
even the pub quiz was incorrect about his life.
Do you think they genuinely believe that, or they made an actual mistake?
I don't know how thoroughly they fact check.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. It's a pub quiz at the end of the day.
I take it very seriously.
But I have an example for you. So
Go on.
Pikachu.
What about him?
What colour was his tail?
His tail, it was like yellow, and then it goes to brown and like black, doesn't it? 'Cause it's like it's shaped like a thunderbolt.
Yeah, so it goes like there's yellow, brown, and black.
Yeah.
It's definitely like
Oh,
so,
well, you're saying definitely like trying to bait me out.
Like, which one would you say?
I would say, it's the right one.
Yeah,
The right one, which for those of you who can't see, features some black on it.
So he's got it starts off on both of them like a bit of brown, then it goes yellow, and the traditional zigzag.
Yeah, it ends in some black.
But then the end of the tail is just block black.
Okay, I'm not gonna look because I don't want to get any spoilers for the later ones.
There aren't any more on this one website.
What?
But
When 10 examples. What's it going on about?
When I go back, I might be on the next one actually. Yeah, and when I go back here, so I'm pretty sure I've looked at this one before. I'm 90% it's that one. That's the actual one.
Bollocks.
And that, yeah, exactly. That bollocks to me. It says here. I'm gonna read it quickly.
So there you go. There's 10 examples. I'm gonna stop looking.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Quiz
I'll read them out. So it does not have a black tip on the end. That's what it says.
It doesn't.
No, apparently not.
Fam.
But this is the thing, though. But the thing is, I don't know how if I can believe this or not because I think it's memory thing. But I also think that is something I distinctly remember.
What are the rest?
Okay, so
I'm trying to picture the Pokemon Yellow box.
Yeah, now you're trying to pick. But the thing is, this is how you second guess yourself so much because you're like.
As a person who has a lot of self-doubt anyway, this is a horrible experience for me.
And I think you can then mess up so much because of that. So
go on, what are the rest?
Okay, so Queen, we are the champions.
Oh, I'd like to point out I went to watch Bohemian Rhapsody and it was phenomenal.
So can you tell me how the end of the Queen song ends?
I don't want to sing.
Just say it then. So it goes, we are the champions.
We are the champions.
Yeah.
And then there's like a fade.
Yeah.
I don't think he says of the world. No, does he say? No, he says of the world.
Do you know what I'm going to say here?
I think the thing is that people see, because I know we're looking to find it. I think the thing is that people think he says of the world.
And you know what? It's one of those ones where it's like kind of thing you go of the world, but I guess.
And then there's piano.
But do you know what? It says there isn't of the world at the end, but I know what people are like with songs and stuff. I can just see them adding that on.
Does he say of the world at some point in the song?
I don't know. I think he does, but I think on this he doesn't at the end. That's okay. They've specifically called out the end, so I'm pretty sure it's in the song somewhere else.
I'm going to answer them as if I'm not thinking about what the mental effect is. I'm just going to
This one I was never really sure about because I can't remember. But the Monopoly Man, did he have a monocle? It's like a one glass.
I was going to say, yeah. When you said the Monopoly Man, I was like, yeah, monocle, moustache, top hat.
Yeah, apparently he has no monocle.
What the?
He's genuinely tripping out.
He's rich. He obviously wears a monocle.
Yeah, apparently he does not have one.
Okay,
so Pikachu's tail. Then this is the next one, okay? So I don't know if you remember because it's a bit. I think it's more in the US. Okay. I don't remember this personally. I have no idea. So it's the Bernstein Bears.
I don't know anything about it.
So it's a change. It's Bernstein to Bernstein. So if you're in the US, it was Bernstein Bears, and apparently it's actually the Bernstein Bears.
Maybe it's Bernstein, like Frankenstein.
Maybe I'm probably. I'm probably butchering this. Yeah.
Did you know? It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's written in the text to rhyme with treacle. Yeah. How much for my degree?
There we go.
Yeah.
Learning more and more. So Star Wars, there's a few here.
Jekyll to rhyme with
Luke,
treacle.
I am your father. Is no, I am your father.
Yeah, I knew that one.
That one we're always going to probably debate about. It's kind of quite hard. It's one word, and I think you can remember one word quite easily.
Saying Luke really grounds it in the Star Wars universe more.
It sounds it makes more sense, but yeah. Okay, this one. Okay, so is the Mona Lisa smiling or not?
She's not making a duck face, I can tell you that much.
Oh, literally
from what I can remember, and damn.
See, I've just read this.
I think in real life, and I can remember telling me about it, and I can't even. I've dropped her name on the podcast. Bleep that. I beg you bleep that. Actually, beg you bleep that. Thank you. I know because I remember the memes about Mona Lisa not making a duck face. But I think she's making a really faint smile.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes, but very faintly.
So this is the thing. So yeah, it says an emotionless face, but she has a smirk in the actual photo.
Yeah, she does. She knows what she's doing.
Now I remember just a bland face.
I remember a faint grin.
But I can't lie to you. I never look at that and think,
but I've watched Da Vinci Code a lot.
If you're watching the video version of this, we'll have like pictures so you can see. At least I just want to see a picture of it now because I can't even remember.
What's the next one? I'm scoring about as poorly as I thought I would be, but she does have a smile. Yeah.
She does have a smile. Yeah.
So I got that one right.
The thing is, I think it's such a faint smile. You could almost argue. Like, what do you think?
That's
is
what
that a smile? Like, it's
see. That's what. Yeah, I remember it being stupidly faint.
like it's not like she's grinning ear to ear. It's just like low key.
I actually beg you bleep her name out. I'm really annoyed.
No, I will. Don't worry.
Cool.
It's not stressing. Right, going back. So more examples.
Yeah, go on. I think I've got one now. Let's go.
So Snow White. You watch? Any memory?
Yeah, I must have done. She's got.
So I didn't really watch. Even when I saw this, I had a bit of my own.
So what I'm thinking of Snow White, she's got jet black hair, she's got rose red lips, she's got pale white skin. Because I remember that meme.
It's nothing to do with.
I remember that meme where she's a vampire. But okay, go on.
Do you know when she speaks about the mirror thing?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah, she says that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says that. Yeah, not magic mirror on the wall.
You've already caught me saying mirror, mirror.
So this is the problem now.
I can't now backtrack and be like, no, obviously she says magic mirror.
But this is why it's good though, because I've got you to say that. And I'm like,
yeah, you need me to. Yeah.
But that's weird. He said it before, so he obviously believed in that. It's whether he's remembered it wrong. But I remembered it like that as well. Even though I didn't watch it much. I don't think I can really.
Is it magic mirror?
It's magic mirror.
Magic mirror makes sense. As opposed to saying like Sam.
Yeah, no, it does. Podcast. Yeah. I agree with that. It makes
unless
sense.
you are Ninja Warrior compared to Sam. I think I've butchered his name.
But I can't offer enough of an opinion because I didn't really watch it.
Sam, I think I haven't watched that show in a long
time.
Samson. No, what? Sam. But I haven't watched the show.
Sam.
I haven't watched the show in a few years, so I'm actually quite.
I honestly can't really.
I apologise for getting his name wrong because I
can't really remember. I don't think I've got enough of a. I didn't watch really.
What's the next one?
It's peanut butter. I think it's an American peanut butter. Jif and Jiffy. I don't really know any peanut butter name.
Don't know if. Yeah, is it pronounced GIF or JIF?
GIF.
All right.
What did you say?
I don't know.
Jesus, it's got to be GIF. Anyone who says GIF, like, stop listening.
Look, the bloke who invented it said it was JIF, didn't he? And if he invented it,
fair enough. But I can't call it that. Like, there's zero way.
Yeah, he could do it once. Yeah. Right, what's next?
I'm trying to find. I think we're pretty much out. The only one that we have. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one.
We'll make this the last
Curious one. George. This is the last one.
Right, he's a monkey.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm going to show you two pictures. Actually,
he wears the yellow hat.
I'm going to show you two pictures here. We'll put this on the podcast again. If not, I'll explain to you in a second once he's looked at it. Which one?
Oh damn! Does he have a tail or not? Oh no! I seem. Oh no!
The problem is now I know he's going to try and use his like intelligence to say this is a Mandela effect. So which one should I not expect?
No. So what I was thinking was I was like, surely that tail would have been more integral to the plot.
Yeah.
That tail looks poorly edited in, so I'm going to say he doesn't have a tail, but I bet you he's got a tail. I think he didn't have a tail.
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't actually remember, so I don't know. But it's things like these where I think it doesn't make any logical sense that a monkey.
It depends what type of monkey it is. I don't know what type of monkey it was meant to be. I'm sorry, George, and man in yellow hat.
So sorry, I'm not the biggest fan ever, but I don't know. But no, the Mandela effect is very interesting, I think, and I think there's a lot of. I think the jury's still out, isn't it? I think there's a lot of controversy.
Apparently, I'm very susceptible to it.
You're very susceptible.
I'm from way over there in the timeline.
Yeah, I think it's like to an extent like psychology and like just human memory.
This is not my earth.
It's either human memory is shit or we've all been played.
Both.
I think that's we'll leave it on that.
Incredibly weak.
Summed up on that.
We'll leave it on that.
100%.
All right. How do you sign off on your big podcast? How do we
sign off? Well, this is the first podcast we've ever done, so I haven't even thought about it to this moment. But I think usually it's like, comment, subscribe,
rate 5 stars for this podcast. I believe you can do that.
Can you do that on the podcast?
You can definitely do it on the podcast app.
On the podcast app, rate 5 stars. If we have a 5-star rating, make sure you rate it.
If you can give it a rating, give it 5 stars.
Yeah, but it's been great having you on, Ellis.
It's been great to be here.
It has. It's been I think we've had a great conversation.
Sufficiently mugged off in certain aspects.
Sufficiently, yeah. I think the Mandela effect's definitely definitely played you.
It's got me there.
No, it has. But it's been great having you. It's been a great first podcast. I think I can confirm doing this in a garage. Maybe
my feet are frozen.
My feet are frozen. My hands are frozen. I'm definitely cold. But next time we'll bring coats. Maybe. Next time we'll do it in the summer.
Yeah.
Even if it is English summer.
I'm back in.
But when you're back from uni, we're definitely going to get you back on. Nice. And this has been a good podcast. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to it. Make sure you go follow me on all my social medias. Links will be in the description to whatever you're listening to this on. And yeah, make sure you have a good day, have a good time, and we will be catching you guys in the next one, either on here or my YouTube. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys soon.
On the road.